All right, what is going on, YouTube? It is a Philocypher, and we are back with some Resident Evil. Evil is here, and we are here to play Resident Evil 1 Remake. Last time we got a little stuck, but we figured it out, and then I made some progress. And I watched a little bit of a playthrough just to see what the heck I was missing. I think I figured it out, but I still don't know where I need to go. So we are going to figure it out together, because I wasn't watching like the full thing. I wasn't trying to get spoilers, but hey, in the darkness lies your fears. So let's get this game audio turned on. Oof. Let me get this music turned on real fast. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, that's why. Okay. I was like, why is that not working? There we go. All right, we got audio. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's somewhere over here that I need to get a fake key out of something. That's what I was missing. So where am I? And what do I have on me? My inventory is full, so let's go ahead and drop off this right here. I'm gonna drop off the shotgun for now too. I'm glad it only takes one inventory slot, but I'm gonna hold off on that and just, so I know I gotta pick up at least one thing, and I know there's a whole bunch of herbs, a bunch of herbs that I did not pick up. So let us do that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my YouTube chat real fast just to make sure that everything is copacetic. And because I don't actually have it pulled up right now. There we go. Ooh, my thumbnail's working too. All right, all right. Oh, Boshi, hey! You're here, Boshi. You sound like the AI YouTube voiceover. Oh, are you talking about earlier, Dunsford? Oh, C. Baker. C. Baker. No! When you be gaming, like I said on TikTok, we definitely need more people like you in the political space. Damn, I missed this. Hold on. Damn. I missed all these messages. Okay, sorry, YouTube, real quick. I gotta read these chats. It says, honestly, W Dad willing to go on here and listen and learn about his child. You can tell that his knee-jerk reaction was to be upset about it, but he centered his thoughts around his kid. Really encouraging. Yeah, for a little bit of context for anybody watching on the YouTube side or hopping in on Twitch, I had some debates earlier, but the last interaction was, I would not call a debate. I did not want it to be a debate. It was with a dad who had a trans kid, and on the kid's account, I think it might be an adult. I don't know how old the kid was, but the kid wanted me to debate his dad. Her dad? I don't remember I don't remember the direction. But either way, they wanted me to have a conversation with their dad, and I did, and I think it was a good conversation. While maybe hard for the dad, it was a good conversation as a whole. So I don't want to call them on a debate, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I hope. I was just talking to my wife about this. That's what took me so long to get back, because I was talking to my wife, and I hope that I helped. I hope the father and the kid get closer together and see things from different perspectives, you know. And I try to be as honest as I can as a dad and as a person who's not trans, to hopefully not just make it all on the dad, right? While I think most of the issue or responsibility falls on the parents to be the bigger people, sometimes the kid is the bigger person, and sometimes also the kid might be a little bit entitled or arrogant or something along those lines. So it's not just always the parent. Sometimes it's the kid as well. And I don't know that situation, but it's just for a little bit of context for you guys. That's what had happened was. And I am honored that I was a person that they wanted me to talk to the parent with. I super honored. There's a zombie right here. I don't like this. There's a zombie right. Wait, how do I? Oh yeah. Triggers. This game is actually more intuitive with the controls than the original, or maybe that was on PlayStation. Was there an L2 and an R2 on the original PlayStation? I think there was no L3. The original PlayStation, until the DualShock, did not have dual analog sticks. I think it just had a D-pad on it. Anyway, let's lock in. Let's lock in. Can I not? Oh, where's the music? That kind of make me uneasy here. Oh, I need to turn around and go this way. Wait, was that the door? This is the door. You might be able to unlock it with an old key. Use the old key. There it is. I found it. I found it. I found it. This should have a fake key in it that will let me get the other key, because I immediately stopped once I knew what was going on. And there's more herbs in here. I think there's dogs in here though. I'm scared. I'm nervous, y'all. I don't like this. Some kind of thorny plant you've never seen before. Oh, well, I made a shortcut, but where's the fake key? If I can't find it, I will Google it, because we're not going to sit here and be stuck all day. So, okay, yeah, there's the green herb in there, but I think there's a fake key somewhere in here too. Did I already kill the dogs in here? And just never, no, because the door was locked. So I've never been in here before. A stained glass window, the pattern in the center which resembles a witch. Is there two? But it's only enough for a few uses. What? The heck is that? Oh, what? That's weird. Bro, I'm pretty certain this was the door with the fake key. Where do I go? Hold on. Maybe I gotta go back and get that plant killer. I'm gonna look this up. Imitation key. The coin can be manipulated into the shape of a key. The coin has no fixed location. Instead, it appears in the player's inventory after taking apart the collar obtained in the West Terrace. What? Damn, why am I getting around? Why am I getting the ring around? Is this a randomly generated item? Brother man, please. The door to the entrance, you've unlocked it. Green herbs, there are green herbs growing here, healthy, you don't need to use it. Caution, but there's enough for a few uses. What? According to the memo that you found inside the mansion, an object was missing within a dog collar, which is put on the mansion's guard dogs to hang around this area to summon the dogs. Oh, the player can use the whistle. How would I have figured that out? How would I have figured that out? Bro, what? In what world would I have ever figured that out? I do not feel the least bit bad for looking that up. Are you serious? Boshi, this is crazy, man. I would have never figured that out. Not in a million years. I would have been going around blowing that whistle all day. Pause. Oh, let me check my DMs real fast too. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. I gotta make sure that I'm checking up on people. Huggies for honor. All that just for a mimic? All right. I don't blame you for looking it up. Bro, I have to blow the whistle in the right room. Wait, what room is this? What in tarnation, bro? Where's the safe room? Did I go up the stairs? Are you ready? Get back in that room. Thank you, Boshi. I appreciate that. How'd you like the debates today, man? We didn't have too many high quality ones, I'll be honest with you. The last conversation I enjoyed, though. I genuinely enjoyed that last conversation. Looks like he's been dead for several hours. Damn dog whistle, bro. Are you kidding me? Wait, I have 3 ink ribbons. There we go. I'm gonna look up the herbicide too while I'm at it. I don't know how normal people figure this shit out. Ah, shit. Herbicide. Herbicide. Whoops. Kills the plants in the greenhouse. Okay, I don't think I have the greenhouse yet. Yeah. It was. The whole trans situation has really opened my eyes to my own ignorance and how my perception of how people should act can affect other people. Not just me, but I mean collectively. The collective I, not just me. It was that and the was it Baker? Who was the other guy? I can't remember the other guy, but there was one guy that, I mean, he wasn't really a Trump supporter though. So like, I mean, that's not what I'm looking for. They were good interactions though. I blew the whistle. I didn't hear anything. Oh shit! Damn! Oh, I see him glowing. Get off of me, fool! I can't get him off of me. Use your defensive weapon. Come on. Use your defensive weapon. Dick. Now look, okay. Now I want to show you how crazy this is, because I need to understand how people figure this shit out. Because look, okay, first off, I had to blow the whistle in this area specifically. There probably was a clue to that. I'm pretty sure I read a clue about this whole thing. So it was there, but then I had to blow the whistle, summon the dogs, notice that they had the collar, and then not only do I have to do this, I have to examine the collar, press A on the collar. There's a switch that I have to press that switch. Then this thing pops out. What the hell is this coin? Oh, it's a coin. Okay, so now I got a coin. Let's analyze the coin. There's nothing unusual about it. Okay, nothing. Wait, there's armor right there. Hold on. It turns into a goddamn key. How am I supposed to know that? The shape of the key, but it lacks the rigidity to be used as one. So not only is this a key, it's not actually a key. It's a key that I use to replace another key that would kill me if I took the key if I didn't have this key. What are y'all doing, man? What are you doing to me, Capcom? What are you doing to me? How am I supposed to, how do people figure this out? Like, am I just dumb? Am I just dumb and everyone else just knows this stuff, or what? Like, what's going on here? Oh my god, I clipped that. Hold on. Now I'm like salty, dude. What the, like, am I crazy? You might have to call it a day. Yeah, but like, how do normal people figure this out? Like, there are people that don't use strategy guides. How do they do it? How the heck do they do it? And if you gotta go, then no worries, bro. No worries whatsoever. So now I gotta go to the hell room and wait. Is it this door? Well, I don't know how people do it, dude. I don't know how people do it. Insane for the people that figure this out on their own. I might have to call in one day. Oh, you might have to call in one day. Oh. I thought you said you have to call it a day. What am I reading? Let's go this way, and then I gotta hang a right. Go down this hallway. I think this is the right way to the murder room. Then I hang a right over here, then I go this way. That legitimately startled me. He stood up so fast, bro. He stood up so fast that legitimately made me scream. Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. Hey, Twitch, clip that. Embarrassing. Let's see what you said here. My other chat's covering it up. Upside down dumpster. Wait, what? I don't know how people found the dumpster glitch in Halo 2. People crouch jumping in the upside down dumpster makes it fly for some reason. Yeah, bro. I don't get how people be doing that kind of stuff. It's crazy to me. So now I gotta take this key. This happens. And then I gotta do this. Why? Bro, what kind of evil villain is doing all of this? Like, what do you do in your life? The emblem, helmet, wait. Engraving of armor. Oh, okay, so this is not the armor room? Wait, what? Oh, that's a helmet key, not the armor key. Damn, so I gotta get another key. This key isn't the key to get into the door that's right by the key. Yo, bro, can you please go this way? You are killing me, bro. Thank you. The camera messes me up. Okay. Oh no. Yeah, I don't know how people be finding that stuff. I remember the Halo glitches back in the day. I remember there were a few people that did like the map glitches and cheated and would shoot outside of the map and shit. I hated those people so much. Forgot I had to go that way. Look. It's equipped. Why didn't I use a dagger on him? Oh shit. The fuck was that? That thing sounds terrifying. I hate that so much. Crimson heads, I should have burnt the bodies. I regret everything. I regret everything. Oh my god, I should have burnt the bodies. I should have just burnt the bodies. This motherfucker is fast. I hate that sound so much. Oh my god, my whole perspective on everything has changed. You prefer to play games how they're intended to be played? Same. I'm stressed out. Now I'm actually really scared because it seems like all the zombies I didn't burn or pop their heads are all waking up now. And I don't have the ammo to deal with this, so I might have to reload. I have a lot of healing items. But I should have just burnt the bodies when I had the chance. So it seems like getting this key. Oh, this is the wrong way. This isn't the, I don't think there's an armor key here. Armor key lock. Armor key situation? I don't know. But yeah, what would you call in about, Boshi? What would you talk about? You still baffle me. Sheva! Oh no, I don't have the keys for this. I do not really want to talk. You will never finish the game if I keep cheating. If you keep chatting. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I'm trash at these kinds of games, period. So it's like, don't blame yourself. That's all on me. Now I'm running into all the helmet keys. I'm legitimately concerned. What's funny is there's a zombie upstairs in this room, but it won't show up in this. Well, now I don't know. Yeah, no, it should be upstairs, but it doesn't activate or anything. So I'm thinking that that door right there by the typewriter box is a it's a armor key, hopefully. Yo, I gotta. Oh my god, it's a lot. It missed. It missed. It missed. It missed. It missed. There's a door right there to my left. Dude, these crimson heads are way worse than I realized. I'm stressed, bro. Oh my god. Nothing detected right now. No auto aim kicking in. There's something written in the corner of the picture commemorating the completion of the mansion. Crimson heads are the zombies that come back to life if you don't burn them or pop their head. And they're faster and stronger. I've heard about them, but I've never seen them before. And now that I've seen them, I see why they made a big deal about burning the bodies every time. Because I've not actually seen any gameplay of the Crimson Heads, and even if I did, I wasn't like paying full attention to the video. I was listening to the dialogue to see what to do without like looking for spoilers and stuff. And they usually just talk about the Crimson Heads and you don't actually see them because they're burning the bodies like they're supposed to do. There's a reason why they're giving me a bunch of oil to burn bodies. I see an item right there. Why can't I pick it up? A wooden counter made out of, yeah, it gives you a room of fine wine. Yeah, the fast zombie, that sound was uncomfortable. That sound was in I saw. So what gave it away for that zombie was that his nails were long. So not only do they they look more red, I think, they also have nails now. Somehow he missed me. And so I took that chance to run while he was in recovery, but I still got to go back out there, bro. I see an item right there. I see the item. It's an ink ribbon right there. Pick that shit up. I need that. Oh, is that a piano? Oh, wait. I think he doesn't know how to play the piano. Jill knows how to play the piano. An expensive looking grand piano. So I'm not supposed to play it? The room is still red, which means there's more items in here. What's happening? What's happening here? I'm not pushing. Can I walk on the other side first? No? I have to push this. All right. Hopefully I'm not ruining anything. Musical score. Yeah, here it is. Moonlight Sonata. You just know sheet music, bro? Is that what's going on here? Grand look. Do I got to do this? Nothing necessary. What do you... Musical score. It's titled Moonlight Sonata. There's a piano right here, bro. Don't do this to me. Brother, when else would it be necessary other than when there's a piano right in front of me? What is happening here? It's still red. You're not going to convince me that I'm not supposed to use this piano. I refuse to accept that. Wait, are there stairs here? But yeah, that Crimson Head, I saw him and I was like, oh shit. Like, that first and that second one both got me. Like, they scared me. I've been watching a lot of YouTubers play scary games, and man, I don't know. I mean, they're fun. There's a lot of cool ones, and there's some co-op ones, man. Have you seen the night market, the fright, like midnight fright market or something like that? Something written on the corner of this picture. Oh yeah. Bro, what else would I use the sheet music for other than a piano? You're not going to convince me that, like, there's something still in here. You've not? Oh, man. So it's... Do you know what anomaly games are? Is there a picture over here? I will say one of the good things about this game is that I believe the enemies respawn. They reset when you go through a door. So in Resident Evil 0, if they were by the door, they'd still be basically by the door. And sometimes they'd still be mid-animation. Whereas now, in Resident Evil 1 Remake, I don't know about the original Resident Evil. I'm guessing they were both like this because of limitations of the game, but I'm pretty sure they respawn, or they relocate back to where their original starting position was, and they're not active. Come on, man. Game. Anomaly. Okay, so it's like a genre of scary games. It's like a subgenre of scary games that you have to find the error. Think, you know the game like Papers, Please, or the like zombie scanner game where people walk through the door and you have to like see if they're zombies or not. You know those kinds of games? Guys, there's no way that I don't have to use this music. Why is the game tricking me right now? The room is still red. The only games I play get into the technical side. I know of Papers, Please and such games. Yeah. Okay. Well, Papers, Please isn't a scary game, but it's like, it's kind of the premise of something is off and you need to be the one to figure out what it is. And if you don't, then stuff happens. But in these games, they're scary games. So typically it's like the monster's going to come kill you. So your job is you're trying to earn enough money to pay for the medical bills of your dog or cat or pet. I think you get to pick your pet. It's like a duck, a bird, a dog, and something else, a different kind of dog, different kind of cat. And they made it co-op too, which is cool because I love co-op games. But basically, you just run a supermarket at night, and you run a supermarket at night, and there's these doppelgangers that are in this world, and your job also is not only to just work this night. You got to stock the shelves, you got to sell stuff, but when you're selling stuff, you're also investigating if they're a doppelganger, and so you have to look at their ID. Scan their ID into the computer, make sure like you get better technology so you can like scan their body later on. You got to kill them and then clean up the body and the blood afterwards. So it's like a very hilarious game. I maybe if there's time afterwards, I'll show you a video of it if you remind me. Yo. Baldur's Gate or Tokon? This game is calming me, man. And I don't want to go back into that room. I want to figure out this puzzle so I can get out of here. There's stairs in here. I see the stairs on the damn map. Look, there's stairs right there, right where the piano is facing, or right where the piano is in the way of. So I know that this piano, again, I got to figure out what the hell I got to do. I'm going to look up Moonlight Sonata and see what that tells me. Cause yeah. Mark, yeah. Ing, yeah. In the, okay. Chris can't play the piano. I need Rebecca Chambers instead, who I played in Resident Evil 0. Must instead be given time to practice before she can open the door. But, okay. I'm looking this up. Instead of running around and coming back to make her learn the song, how do I make? There isn't a way. Just go back to the dining room and come back. Okay. Well, I know that I'll have to have her go away and come back. But how do I get to her? Where is she at? I didn't find. Where's Rebecca? Did I skip a step? When in doubt, Google it out. I did not play Baldur's Gate. I must have been the other one. Oh, Unepic. Yeah. My friend wasn't there, so we played Unepic instead. God damn it. I gotta leave this room. And then there's gonna be a Crimson Head in here, and I gotta figure out where the hell I gotta go. I don't know where Rebecca is, but I'm gonna go to that other room now, further down the hallway. So I gotta immediately turn right and run. Turn right and run all the way down the hallway. I don't think I can get there from here. Do I gotta go up the stairs to get there? I think I gotta go up the stairs and go around. So what I'll do is I'll turn left. Shit. No, wait, there's stairs there too. Where do I go? Oh, wait. Those aren't stairs there. I'm so confused, bro. Let's see here. I'd have to go through that room to get there. I'm just gonna explore, fuck it. So turn right and run for my life. I have my defensive item. I might have to double check the button, but I'm pretty sure it's right, left bumper. There's going to be Crimson Heads in this room too. this is scary as fuck. Oh, this isn't the room. This isn't the room. Is this locked? No. God damn, bro. Another Crimson Head. Maybe if I just run straight forward. Let's run straight forward and see what that takes us first. Oh, we didn't activate him. That didn't activate him. Okay. He's there though. You look at the hands. Look at the hands. It's very obvious. No, damn it. Okay. So I got turn left, then left again. Oh shit! There was two of them. It was a trick. Crimson Chin. I can't see his hands. What is that noise? Yes! Headshot, baby. No Crimson Head for you. No head at all. Fairly Odd Parents. Paradise! I don't remember. I remember the Crimson Chin. Cincinnati. Fuck. Cincinnati. Oh my god, this show. Bitch! This guy got taunted the most by me for sure, so he deserves to get a licking. If there's any zombie that deserves to get a licking on me, it's that one. Hands down. I hate that zombie bitch. Alright, there's a bunch of red doors on the other side, and I have... Hold on. Spider. It's drifting down on me. Got it. Spider dead. It was a small one, a very tiny one. I don't know why. I got like spider senses in the most intentional pun ever. But like when there was this, like that thing was microscopic, dude, and I still clocked it. I'm so paranoid of spiders. Wait, am I going the wrong way? No, there's a bunch of red doors this way. Oh, wait, I want to check that other door. There's one more door upstairs. Oh my god, there's gonna be so many Crimson Heads, dude. Armor key, new room. Comfort versus its rights. Yeah, in this game, it's all about comfort, baby. Rebecca!
You.
Chris
Wait,
Redfield,
why?
Alpha Team. We're here to rescue you. Richard, what the hell happened to you?
U.S. Marshal.
Chris, this place. Get your team out of here. demons everywhere.
Don't talk. He seems to have been bitten by a poisonous snake, but the size of the bite mark is huge.
It's not just any ordinary snake. Take my word for it.
He needs serum. I left it in another room.
I'll go get it.
Please hurry.
Hold on. I'll be back.
Which room? Excuse me. Did he just put me back in the room with the crimson head? Oh. Oh. Wait. The save room that I was in earlier? Where am I at? Okay, so this is on the first floor. I'm on the second floor. If I go left, and then, okay. I wish I could remember what the context of the joke was, but I don't think it's that bad of a joke. All the zombies, none of these zombies get any rights. Did you notice that Rebecca was wearing a funny outfit? Like, that's not her normal outfit. She's Stars. She's a member of Star. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I have a non-discriminatory, I have a stand my ground policy when it comes to spiders. Is that what it's called? Home defense? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, that was a good joke. Yeah, no, I'm... I think I have to turn left. Turn left. Am I going the right way? Motherfucker is fast. At least he didn't make that howling noise. I think. So I'm gonna go upstairs and go back down around or something. Some games this week, but I see as I think that's fair to an extent. Like, I don't think the issues with the people. I think that oh yeah, well, okay, yeah. I mean, that's what I was trying to articulate earlier. That it's clearly like it's just fully a me thing because you're talking about the AI stuff. Oh, okay. Oh, then never mind. Yeah, I think we're on the same page. I think we're on the same page because I personally think that violent games can actually be incredibly therapeutic. Whereas a lot of people, I think a lot of non-gamers, well, usually they're more conservative, tend to have a misconception that violent games leads to being violent, when I think it's actually can be the exact opposite unless people are just unhinged already. Did he just wake up on his own? I hate you so much, bitch. I think I have to go that way. Wait, was he just lying down making that noise? Oh. Okay, that's where I gotta go. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I believe that too. Wait, they can promote debate? Promote debate? Bitch! You missed, you dumb bitch! Shut up. Oh. Is there gonna be a zombie right here? Burn your bitch ass, man. I'm taking the kerosene with me. Get in the damn door. There better not be a zombie in here, man. I swear to God, this is a save room. Don't pull that bullshit. Where's the serum at? I'm definitely saving. I don't have any increment. I don't have any increments on me right now. I can't save it. Do I? I appreciate that. That's what I was hoping for. Oh, I do have ink ribbons. I have a bunch of ink ribbons. Oh man, you give me the validation I need, man. It's hilarious that you acknowledge that. I appreciate that, really. Thank you, stranger. I'm gonna keep that thing on me because honestly, I might bring the damn shotgun. Like, bro. Keep that thing on me. Just keep that eyes open. You watch anime? Just keep those eyes open. Do these things really not go together? I feel like these two things go together, but maybe I just am weird. I got a survival knife. I got a shotgun. I got shotgun shells. I have one herbicide. I'm going to take this musical thing with me. I think I'm going to heal. Then I have 3 bullets left. I watched Pokemon as a kid, otherwise not really. Yo, where is the medicine at? Oh, there it is. Well, shit. Hell yeah, I want to save my progress. Anime is something so great. I want to be the very best that no one ever was. That one guy is dead for sure, by the way. I don't remember the storyline, and I've never done Chris's storyline before. Well, I never played this game as a kid. I watched my brother played it, but he played Jill. I'm pretty confident. It's crazy how old this remake is. The remake looks old. Oh, geez. This is mixed herbs. I have 1 green herb on me. There's the herbicide, the fuel canteen. Do I want to take the shotgun? I don't really have any more bullets, and there's a big snake coming up, so I feel like it's going to be needed. I gotta try to not use it on the Crimson Heads. I think the option for the Crimson Heads is just to run and not to fight those things. I need to take the advice. All the tutorials that I could find were speed running tutorials. That's the issue, is that I could not find any actual good tutorials on this game. They were all speed run or hard difficulty, like perfect run playthroughs, which isn't necessarily bad to watch because you know, like the most efficient route. It's not necessarily the way that I want to play, but it was interesting seeing like extra hard difficulty or whatever, because they kept mentioning those damn Crimson Heads, and I can see why on those difficulties they'd for sure, like I've been able to juke them now that I know a little bit more. Like they're fast as hell, but they do miss if you can like finagle it. Yeah. So if I get hit one more time, I'm gonna go ahead and heal regardless of what my health says, just because Chris has higher health. I'm gonna try to just like, if I die, I die. I just saved it. I just put my increments away, so I don't care if I die at this point, because now I know exactly what I gotta do. I got the serum, and it seems like I've been able to outrun them. Now I forgot where to go. I gotta... I think it's the room north of the typewriter room at the bottom of the screen. See, I thought that they'd give me a damn another indicator on the way back, but they didn't. So, okay. Short-term memory here. I gotta go out this room. I don't think there's a zombie in this room, but I can't go back the same way I came, I think. But let's try. I don't remember where the hell I found those idiots. Dang, I don't know where I gotta go. Also, full disclosure, I just took an edible about like 20 minutes ago, so that thing I think is actually going ham right now as we speak. So it's about to get more interesting. some remakes are very good regardless of how they look. They stay true to form in a way. I think that is exactly what is happening here, because I think the remake is really old. Like, it is legitimately old, like 2001 old, I believe. I'm de-stressing right now because I am nervous for what's coming up with all these Crimson Heads. 2002. Yeah, I said 2001, I think. So yeah, 2002 is when the remake came out. So this was, you know, this is a old game period, but I do think that this game tried to, I think it did what it was supposed to do. Don't hit me with those eyeballs. Don't judge me, okay? I know you're probably on the more conservative side, but it's legal where I'm at. Perfectly legal. Just like drinking. I'm not a big drinker. I want to go to that other door. I'm afraid there's a zombie. That one didn't have big hands. I will freaking about face and run away if I get windows popping on me and shit. Okay. So I want to check this door. Armor key. Where does it go? Who is your daddy? Oh, shortcut. But there might be zombies, but they won't be Crimson Heads. Probably. Because I've never been in here. I didn't kill any zombies. So they're probably going to be slow zombies. But it's a fresh area. Was that a hand grenade? I'm sorry. A flash grenade. What was that? The damn zombie at the window. There's another one around the corner, I bet you. There's no way there's another zombie around the corner here. Oh, I missed a door. I saw you get on Power World. Oh, wow, we got zombies. We got zombies, man. We got zombies and we got adult candy. You know what I'm saying? Terrible combination, and it kicks in as we speak, my guy. How are you? Old dude was in here earlier. Oh, did you see Spider-Man? Can we talk about Spider-Man? Spoilers? Okay, it'll bust through later. Probably when I go to that other door. You sent him? Where'd you send him? To the That don't look safe. Is that OSHA? Ah. I need to get my soundboard at the ready here. There's moments. A lid on the water pump is open. Pump the water? No, not until I know what the hell I'm doing. I try not to be judgmental, but we all judge one way or another. I found it interesting what the caller with the religious view was saying. Which caller? Well, the only one that I can remember that said he was religious was the one kid that had debated me on abortion and said he was the least racist person. You know what? Let's look at this again. The lid on this water pump is open. Pump the water. Which way? I hate y'all. No, no, no. Green. Green is good. Green is not good. Oh, okay. It counts as a hostile. I have to imagine that this water does something to this monster. The question is, how do I deal with it? I've seen a video with those same tentacles before. Yeah? What kind of video was that? Huh? What kind of video you talking about? Was it an anime? What did red do? This does something. Oh, it turns on the fountain. It turns on the fountain. The big water. Okay, so that's the big water. Let's turn that back off. Let's try to the green again. I want to hit the other thing. I want to shut off the water altogether. Is this gonna... I'm not in danger yet. It looked like something opened up, but I don't know what. Nope, nope, nope. That's the range that I need to be at. But what? So this turns on the water, but it doesn't actually hurt. The fountain didn't turn on. Something is on. I didn't see what it was. Did you guys see what it was? Yeah, it was an anime. Can't remember the context of the vibe though. Yeah, you said you synced it. Okay. What did you think of the movie? What did you think of the movie, by the way? Sorry, I got distracted by the tentacles. We all got distracted by the tentacles here. I don't have enough bullets to shoot at this thing for free, though. Like, I don't want to shoot this thing if I don't know what I need to do. There's no other room over there. I'm gonna have to go backwards and hang a left. There's two doors that I just totally missed in this hallway. You probably have to turn a specific thing and whistle. You're probably right. All right, now? Oh, he doesn't register as an enemy. Okay, this is just unlocked for free. I thought it was a great movie. Thought it would have set up Doomsday a little better. I don't think it even really set up Doomsday too much. There's an inscription here. A tiger glowing with blue and yellow light. Tiger glowing with blue and yellow light. Blue and yellow light. Blue and yellow? There's a blue herb and a yellow herb sometimes in Resident Evil. Is that all? A tiger glowing with blue and yellow light. I have a blue gem. I have a sapphire gem. Can I look at this thing again? I don't see indentations for it though. Blue and yellow light. Let me try using my lighter. No, too easy. The post-credit scene did slightly. Yeah, I feel like they just do that to reference it like they used to do. Like I mean, I guess I agree. They didn't really set it up. I wasn't expecting that. Did you see the Doomsday trailer too? I really enjoyed this Spider-Man. I want to see it again. I visually it was very good. I like to see things. If I feel very strongly that I like something, I usually want to try to see it again just to see if that feeling is more of a theater experience, because I watch most of my movies at home, but nowadays that I'm older, I don't really watch movies anymore. So most of my movies now are theater movies. And I just feel like certain movies are good theater movies, but are they good movies that can hold my attention when I'm at home and I have other distractions that could vie for my attention? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I feel like gamers and stuff get that kind of sentiment to some degree. Or can. There's another door that I missed though. Where is it? Right here? Ah, right here. Hello. And I do have Rebecca to go back to. I'm trying to find a way to get back, honestly, but I'm also checking out these areas since they're here. If I die, I have a good save. Hell nah, bro. Ooh, ammo. Wah! I will get this shotgun out. I'm not playing with you, man. I mean, I know what's going to happen if I open that door, but there's a small chance that it's not a zombie. But I really, well, you know what? Actually, okay, here's the plan. I have a mixed herb, which should basically bring me back to full health. I think 2 greens so far has always brought me back to full health or close enough to where like, hey, I'm good. I might not be max, but I'll be at green or fine. If I get hit by that zombie, I should still survive, and then I can use my defensive item to kill it, I think. And it might be a guaranteed headshot, I think. But I want to check something here real fast. Where's my defensive item button? Changing. Where's the button? Where's the button for the defensive item? Down in heavy, or down in heavy, down in X. Too much fighting games now. Down in X is a 180 turn. Yeah, I know that. But where, see, it doesn't even show me on here where the defensive item is. Oh, auto. Oh, why was it on auto? Save. Wait, did I just accidentally auto save the game? Is that a thing? Or is it only saving my settings separate from the game file? Like if I die or reboot the game like right now, I would lose my typewriter save, but I would have my configuration be fine? All right, let's see the zombie. Come on, let's go. I knew it. Okay. Oh, there's an item in here. Okay, bam, defensive item to the face. Kablamo. Oh. A kablamo. Headshot, baby. Headshot, baby. Oh, shit. Want them too? Blammo. Sit your ass down. Sit your $5 ass down before I make change. He only put 2 shells in there. I'm not complaining. When it's a movie I know I'm going to want to lock in, I want to watch it in the theater. At home, I'm more prone to be on my phone. I agree. I'm more prone to be doing many things. Can I get this back? That key is actually going to be useful. Can I get my key? Can I get my knife back though? That'd be nice. All right, so now I am going to go ahead. I'm still at caution, but we're going to go ahead and heal because I just would rather be at full health. I tanked a lot of hits there. So now I'll be able to tank many more. Grab this ammo. I should be able to reload my gun. Honestly, I might just give one desk pop right quick and reload that last bullet because that extra space is more worth it. That key is more worth 1 bullet in my opinion. So I think it's a fair trade. Desk pop. Bam. Who's seen the other guys? Spoilers. Yeah. Oh, to finish my thought on that though. Sorry, the zombies threw me off. I used, wait. 1 second. I sort of use my level of interest in the movie as a barometer for how good the movie is to an extent. Not in terms of like the technical 8 out of 10 scale kind of thing. It's like, does this movie hold my attention enough for me to want to not go do other things, right? Because when I go to the theater, yeah, not only is there a financial investment, so I'm biased towards enjoying the experience, understandably so, because I chose to go there in the first place and spend money on it, right? Or my wife, like one of us is going to spend money on it. We're invested in enjoying the experience as fully as possible, you know, with a kid with us. Sometimes we watched Toy Story 5 gave me depression. Jesus Christ, man, these movies. But me and my wife saw Spider-Man Alone. He wasn't there for that one. And yeah, so I'm inclined to do that. But then it's kind of like, I don't watch a lot of movies, but now I've sort of been playing with that of how good is that movie to me for me to want to watch it right now where I'm at, sort of thing. And it's just like does it hold my attention? Anime is included in this too. Like I've been watching anime with my son, and so that's more of his scale because I don't really care as long as we both enjoy it, but I'm not as picky as he is. And also he's way younger, so he doesn't have access to certain anime. But yeah, anyway, let me lock in on this read real quick as this stuff still is kicking. It's getting stronger. I can feel it. I can feel it. Keeper's Diary. But I'm also, so I'm trying to plan a campaign for Call of Cthulhu, and I would like to be able to read regardless of my state, if you know what I mean. And I need to get better at reading, because especially when I'm multitasking, like live streaming, for example. I learned this in therapy for ADHD as an adult, that I'm more inclined, my brain is more inclined to fail reading or not comprehend it if I'm overstimulated, stressed out, or depressed or tired. Like it's not all negative. Like it could just be I'm excited and I'm multitasking and I have a lot on my mind. So it's not like I'm like stressed, but it's still a form of stress, like scientifically, or there's a lot of chemicals like cortisol, serotonin, cortisol, melatonin is sleep. Yeah. So anyway, what I'm saying is I need to get better at reading out loud is my point. Long-winded point. Let's go. So this is the Keeper's Diary. Keeper of Arcane Lore is what the DM is called in Call of Cthulhu, by the way. May 9, 1998. Player poker tonight with Scott and Elias from security and Steve from research. So like, I got to read it first because I can't give it verbal context if I don't know what the hell I'm saying, and I can't read out loud and know what I'm saying at the same time. Usually I got to read ahead, but I read slow. Okay. Steve was the big winner, but I think he was cheating. Scumbag. May 10, 1998. Goddamn. One of the higher ups assigned me to take care of the new creature. It looks like a skinned gorilla. Feeding instructions were to give it live animals. When I threw in a pig, the creature seemed to play with it, tearing off the pig's legs and pulling apart the guts before it actually started eating. Gross. I'm not actually reading it. I'm hearing what I'm saying and then comprehending it afterwards, because when I read out loud, even if I'm giving it the context, I'm not comprehending it until I hear, like I rewind what I said. I think some people do this kind of stuff, but they don't know they're doing it, and they don't know, or they don't know that other people don't have to do that, right? May 11, 1998. At around 5 a.m., Scott woke me up. Scared the shit out of me. Too. See, I gotta read. He was wearing a protective suit. He handed me another one and told me to put it on. Said there'd been an accident in the basement lab. I just knew something like this would happen. I just knew something like this would happen. I just knew something like this would happen. Those bastards in research never sleep, even on holiday. May 12th, 1998. I've been wearing this damn suit since yesterday. My skin's getting grimy and feels itchy all over. The goddamn dogs have been looking at me funny, so I decided to not feed them today. Screw them. Not feed them today. Wait. May 11, May 12, May 13. Yeah, so I didn't remember what numbers were. Okay, so this starts on May 10th, May 9th. Sorry. I'm trying to, like, you really got to lock in on these books. Any of these can be goddamn clues. So, like, I like this. This is a good thing. I sound like I'm complaining. I'm sorry. I sound like I'm complaining, but this is actually an angry rave. Like, this is a positive rant done angrily. But I'm paying attention to the dates. It's very unlikely, but very possible that the dates might be relevant later on. I'm looking. I think they usually highlight any text, but I don't think they did that at part 1. I think that started towards like Resident Evil 4 and onwards, maybe, or 5 and onwards. So they didn't always spoon feed you all this stuff. The information is here, but we got to take it serious. So not only do I want to read it out loud, I want to make sure that I'm paying attention to what the hell it says. Like I'm being thorough. 1, because I'm challenging my brain to remember stuff and make sure I'm reading it and understanding it. But 2, because it actually is important in Resident Evil 1, as we've learned already, that we got to blow whistles inside of rooms to call dogs that have collars that have hidden buttons on them that you can grab for some reason that transforms into a key that you use to replace with another key, because that key that was on a dog collar that was hidden as a coin is what it was called, that I had to summon with a whistle, is a dummy key to replace the real key, so that I don't get squished by suits of armor with spinning blades on them, okay? Like, that's a real thing that I just said that happens in this game that just happened to me earlier. Makes no sense. But it's there. It's there. Anyway, well, let me read some chat real fast. Okay. I give the text a silly voice. I try to do either a silly or a serious voice. I'm trying to get more serious because I'm trying to practice the range in terms of being a GM. I'm still new to being a GM, but I really want to push into the performing side of it a little bit. I don't got to go extra, like just to my own level of degree. But as a speaker, as a streamer, I do want to get better at being a character. Being silly is a character. I think that is a craft. So that also to me is also that too, personally. I don't always do silly. Sometimes I want to be more serious. So yeah. Just like real life. When I stream, yeah, for sure. I have seen V for Vendetta a long time ago. Sorry, Boshi, I forgot to answer your question. You need a pen and paper, ideally. I have to take notes sometimes. You probably have to turn on a specific thing and whistle. Oh, you did say that. You did say that. You said that earlier, way earlier. Yeah, baseball just do some what happened holiday. Wearing a damn suit. Okay, here we go. May 13, 1998. Also, my nose gets stuffy when I even edibles. You'll hear me get more nasally throughout the stream. That's why. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm allergic or something, but that happens. It doesn't matter if it's smoked or if it's vaped or eaten. I think it has to do with dryness, so I try to hydrate more now. But you will hear it, I'm pretty sure. All right, so went to the infirmary because my back is all swollen and itchy and feels itchy. I might just ad-lib, screw it. But as long as I get the accuracy of it right. They put a big bandage on it and told me I didn't need to wear the suit anymore. All I want to do is sleep. Oh, wait. Did he get bit at some point? Wearing this damn suit. Goddamn dog. My suit is getting itchy and feels. Did they do the oh, what was the experiment? The syphilis? Did they do the syphilis experiment on this boy? No, okay, let me just read on. Let's find out. Found another big blister on my foot this morning. I ended up dragging my foot all the way to the dog's pen. They were quiet all day, which is weird. This was May 14th. Then I realized some of them had escaped. Maybe this is their way of getting back at me for not feeding them the last 3 days. You think? You're not, what? Maybe they're just desperate. If anybody finds out, I'll have my head handed to me. The 16th. Rumors going around that the researcher who tried to escape the estate last night was shot. My entire body feels hot and itchy and I'm sweating all the time now. I scratched the swelling on my arm and a piece of rotten flesh dropped off. What the hell's happening to me? 19th, fever gone but itchy. Today hungry and eat doggy food. May 21, itchy Scott came ugly faces. So killed him tasty. 4, itchy tasty. Itchy tasty.
What do you mean by that?
Rest in peace, my guy. Rest in peace. That's these guys right here, by the way. If that wasn't obvious to y'all, they do that kind of morbid shit this game all the time. Where you're like, there's a lot of lore that explains how messed up this world is, and it just gets. I have not been doing a good job of emphasizing the lore in this game, which is part of why I've been excited to talk about this game and play it and stream it. So, like the talking for me was expected when talking about this game because one, when I'm playing games, one of the reasons why I wanted to play them is just to beat them, but the other thing is just ranting and raving about the aspects that I do like or feel very strongly about. This is one of those things. Like, it's really easy for me to just not care about that kind of stuff in other games. But in this game, I think the incentive of knowing that there's clues in some of these, it forces me, and also streaming and trying to read it out loud like this, really, there's no way I couldn't try to convey the way that character is feeling without feeling what he's feeling for me. So in doing that, it permits me to like put myself emotionally into the game in a way that I don't typically do. On top of just understanding the situation, you know, the whole social context, or this whole context of the situation as a whole. And I just feel like the Resident Evils, in some capacity, like Resident Evil has always been a banger of a game. I know that a lot of people hated 5 and 6, but 5 and 6 were bangers. They were just not good Resident Evil survival horror games. They were really good co-op action shooters. That's just a fact of the matter. 5 and 6, if you've not played them co-op with a friend all the way through, online or in person on split screen, you have not played Resident Evil 5 and 6 correctly. I'm sorry, they did not design the game to be played alone. The AI in the game make the game a terrible experience in a way that they were not intended to be played. The game seems to really be intended to be played with two people that work together to achieve these goals, and not a player and an AI. The AI is just absolute trash. And so whether intentional or not by the developers, I don't think that the developers were dumb enough to intentionally make the AI bad. I think they just unfortunately made the AI so bad that the only way to play the game to its fullest extent was with another human being. I think that's just the circumstances. And so my objective, or my subjective opinion, my subjective thought on the matter is that the game is meant to be played. 5 and 6 are meant to be played co-op all the way through. They're not meant to be played by yourself, period. Right? And if you think about it through that lens, those games are absolute bangers. And they have some of the best memes that transcended Resident Evil and just have really good memes in Resident Evil. Like the boulder punching is like the most iconic thing from that game. But the game is just fun. Like I promise you, like I've played these games with several people. I don't beat games multiple times usually, unless I really love them. 5 and 6, 5 in particular for me. 6 is also a really great game. And you'll see when I get to that game, I have someone that's going to play it that's never played 5 and 6. I'm going to play both of them with them. When you see that, I'm going to show you through teaching them the mechanics of the game. There's a lot of mechanics in Resident Evil 6 that you can go through without ever knowing they exist. But if you know they exist, just understanding how they work, you will have an appreciation for how much depth there is to the gameplay mechanics of Resident Evil 6. You will see. I can wait. I will bet money. I'll post this as a clip because I am so confident that I am correct on this. Now, this is subjective. So like, this is a nerd argument kind of thing. Like there's no true way for this to be proven, but I will make enough points to show you why that is fully justifiable, that these are great games. Like you will see there are some issues with the game. I'm not acting like there's not, but it doesn't mean that there is not enjoyment to be had from these games. And if the enjoyment supersedes or is higher than the bad of the game, I think it is a net positive. And if sometimes you might need a tweak in your logic or thinking or perspective to appreciate that, I don't see an issue if it's presented to you. It's not like you have to take that opinion, but at least have it presenting to you will allow you to enjoy a game in a way that I've enjoyed these games for years. So tangent aside, let's get back into Resident Evil here. I'm clipping that. Oh, Twitch, clip that. I forgot, that's a thing. If you did not know, there's voice commands now, so I can say Twitch, clip that, and it should do that for me. But I'm going to go ahead and press the damn button before it's too late. Because I don't want to go ahead and like scrub through the footage. Okay, but I will get a timestamp of when that is. All right, let's lock back in. What did y'all say? Ooh, Tuesday. What do I have Tuesday? I gotta put my son to bed on Tuesday. Shit. What time is the tournament? I might have to ask my wife to trade with me because my son, maybe, yeah, okay, yeah. I need details. Can you DM that to me? Boshi, what did you mean about the pen and paper, by the way? I didn't fully catch that. When I stream and read things, I give the context. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but my local 6 p.m. on Tuesday Eastern when it starts. Cool. I might try to make that. Are y'all streaming? I need to make my way out there. I really do. I want to come to some of those tournaments. I'll do my best in the Tokon tournament. I just bought the game recently, so my understanding of the game is a little bit behind, but I will definitely play and or commentate. The game is really fun. I want to learn this game. I want to commentate more, and if the game is good and I like it, I want to commentate it. All right, now where the fritch toast do I go? That door is locked, and there's Crimson Heads in this room over here. No, there's not. Did I get everything in this room? Is it green now? It's green. It's green. So I know I've got everything. That is very helpful to a person. We only have a stream for Smash at the moment. Okay, that's reasonable. Zombie stress. Let's lock in. There's stairs in this room? Wait, what? Am I tripping? No, the stairs are on the other side of this room, around the corner. I'm pretty sure it's on the east wing to get back to Rebecca. I thought it would give me a blinking notification like it did on the way to this, but it didn't. So I didn't take the time to remember what room exactly she was in, but I know it was a newer room. Please tell me this door unlocks. Yes. Shortcut. Backtracking is a big thing in this game. I'm not a big fan of backtracking. I don't hate it either though. God, this guy's just son of a bitch. I'm gonna try to stop pausing as much during these situations. I feel like I'm cheating a little bit. These guys are fast, man. That's a Crimson Head, by the way. I want to get good at that game because I'd like to teach it. If people are into it that aren't also into fighting games, like I love teaching fighting games and I love being good at fighting games. But it takes time, and as a dad, that's been like really inconsistent. I haven't had that strong competitive desire, but I do have the competitive desire recently. I know we've talked about that. I have to imagine we've talked about that, but I do want to compete in fighting games more. I don't necessarily need to win an Evo anytime soon, but I'm trying to train consistently enough to be like, if I ever have time to be able to train harder, if I ever get like a team that would sponsor me to that point of skill, then I would take it a lot more serious while still maintaining my business and everything. Because I work from home, I can be more flexible with certain things, at least until I get involved in politics. But I'm not in any rush to do that. So yeah. Crimson Head, bro. I think I can go this way and get back to the mansion without having to deal with going around the other way. But well, either way, I can reset them. I can reset them by doing this. We're gonna use some speedrunning strats. I don't. Oh shit! I gotta go back. I gotta go back. I can't do my mouth's too dry right now. I can't do my. Oh, lock in. Fuck. Swing and a miss, you dumb bitch. You son of a bitch. Oh, you missed. Ha, you dumb motherfucker. All right, stay composed. Lock in. Oh my God. Lock it in, my guy. Breathe. Jesus Christ. I had to turn into Hunt Showdown mode. Conscious composure. Hold on. Brainstorm with me, y'all. Brainstorm with me. We're gonna go into coaching. Just for context, part of my job is my business, I should say. It's not my job, it's my business. But part of my business is coaching, like it's coaching and consulting for esports. That also means for like educational programs or esports programs for the youth. Forgot to swig my water earlier. God damn. I'm dying, y'all. Hold on. I'm kidding. But this cough is terrible. I had to mute a few times. Okay. I'm having a idea. I'm gonna brainstorm real quick because this is part of my business, so I gotta think about this stuff, and if I can make a video out of it, then hey, that's useful too. Okay. So as a result of just more context here. First, you know, I do programs like summer camps and stuff. Like I wrote the curriculum for the summer camp at Western Michigan University that I still do to this day, right? So, and it's been a successful program where we pack out like a lot of the rooms, like not every single camp, one a week, 4 or 5 days. Not every single one has been packed, but I definitely packed the advanced ones where I get more, I can be more coaching. I can be more of a coach in those camps. Whereas like I'm a facilitator. I'm like a summer camp facilitator for the youth program, for like the younger, which is like 3rd grade to 6th grade recommended. It's not a age limitation. No. 6th grade to 8th grade is the beginners camps. Like that's the recommended grades, but I took away the age restriction to some degree, so that younger kids could get into the advanced camps, because before they weren't allowed to. But then the last couple of years I did it, I switched it up instead of doing just ages, because I found that I kept getting really advanced kids in the beginners class that should have and did actually like go back to a camp to do the advanced camps too. Whereas, another idea in my head, I got to make sure that I have more of a graduation period for camps as well. in the future. I'm going to be doing summer camps for other programs as well. That's enough context. Fast forward. Let's go. Get to the point. So what I want to articulate is a point that is somewhat obvious, somewhat hidden in plain sight, which I'm going to call conscious composure. It should explain itself, but just for more context, what I'm considering conscious composure to be is the forced will to compose oneself, right? I think a lot of people, I've noticed a lot of people do this, so I'm confident they do this, but people assume that composure is just something that is trained or you naturally have, and therefore don't have any influence of it in the moment. But the thing is that in reality, most people have a lot more control over their composure than they realize. It's just that they don't make the conscious effort to actually compose themselves, and or they don't know what to do to compose themselves and or how to do that thing, right? And it's very simple. That's why everyone says breathe. That's the first thing you got to do. The second thing that you have to do while breathing is being aware of your body. You can't release your tension if you don't know where the tension is. So like for me, when I did that, I felt it in my like lower back and my back and my shoulders. I know because I've been going through physical therapy, certain areas that I'm looking consciously for that might be stiff, like in my neck region, right? So I'm looking for certain things, but it's just like awareness of your body helps you get to awareness of your emotions or your mental state as a whole. So in order to control your composure, you have to be self-aware of your mental state in real time and in general based off of how you react in situations. That's why people call it a default state, where how do you react to things? Like what is your default state for reacting to things versus consciously controlling that situation? A lot of people are slaves to their emotions or their thoughts and sometimes have a hard time getting out of certain habits. Everyone does that. I do that. We all do to some degree, and it's just a matter of what do we choose to control. And if you're a competitor, I fully believe that control of your composure is important. If you don't naturally have composure, you got to train that. And in order to train your composure, yes, you have to like put yourself in a certain mental state, right? There's a mental effort of thinking, okay, well, in this situation, I'm going to think that like I'm going to focus on winning the match, and anything that's not relevant to winning the match is useless information. So making the physical understanding, mental understanding of what you want to think about and what you don't want to think about. Like that's a goal that you play while you're training and practicing and competing, is the mental state of just being aware. For example, for me, I'll be simple here. So I'm not going to explain all of this. I'm just going to be quick, but I would say ABC when I was learning Street Fighter 5, and it was always B confirming, right? It was just kind of a funny statement about hit confirming in the game. But my issue was I forgot to hit confirm. Not that I couldn't hit confirm. I could hit confirm all the time, but I forgot to remind myself, hey, before you press this button, make sure that you're looking for this animation so that you can make sure you combo if they block, or if you do a quick block string or something, or mix up. If they get hit, do the combo. If they don't get hit, then do a block string and a mix up or something like that, right? That conscious choice leads to different outcomes because I'm not being aware, right? So composure is very similar in the sense of you have to control your emotional state, but also your physical state. A lot of people don't realize that part of the reason why they make mechanical errors or they make bad choices is because their physical state, like not their mental state, their physical state is restrictive or is hindering on the body somehow. If your breathing is shallow, you're not getting as much oxygen. You're just logically less optimal than a working brain because you're not feeding it enough oxygen. Like it's not brain science. It is brain science. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science, but it is something that you have to sometimes consciously do. I wasn't someone who was like naturally composed. I learned how to do that through the sheer numbers of it all and putting myself in awkward situations all the time, but also meditating was a huge part of it because I learned how to have a quiet mind. And I also learned how to be more aware of my emotions in real time, which allows me to monitor faster, recognize faster, and make changes faster to my emotional state because I'm changing what I'm thinking and I'm changing what my mind is focusing on and my eyes are focusing on, right? People with ADHD can do high skill tasks while also brain like surfing the internet in their brain, right? I don't think I'm exclusive on that. So we can play fighting games and still be thinking about this song that we were thinking about and this grocery list. We can still do that and do a lot of stuff, but it is hindering on our potential and like getting into the zone, for example, right? Like those things are hindered if we do that sort of stuff. We can still play, but we'll hit a plateau at some point for sure. And that plateau will just never get broken unless you change that conscious effort. It could just purely be composure. It could just be very bad fundamentals. It could be a variety of things. Usually it's a mixture of all those things, but the areas I don't get to focus don't get improved on, right? So anyway, I digress. I just wanted to articulate that for myself real quick so that I could either put this into a video or just have it memorized. Now that I've said it out loud, I will remember it later on so that I can do that for future clients. So thank you for being on that journey with me. And then I will check this chat too. Hopefully that made sense to somebody. Hopefully that was useful, right? Dry mouth is bad. I like to win, but I mostly like hosting a local for others to get better. That's where I'm at too. So I'm going on an arc. It's like I've kind of become the retired mentor, and it's like the retired mentor is coming out for Rocky Balboa. Sort of like that for me. It's like, I've had students, I have the scene, I have younger people that are actually running the scene for me now. I'm fairly hands off, but like I still have that drive to compete, you know? So it's like you're kind of on that, not everyone's gonna go back on that direction, right? That's like Rocky was Rocky, but it's not just the winning for me, it's the journey and the mindset. And I don't think ever having a winning mindset is a bad thing. I don't think ever training in fighting games has ever been detrimental to my life. It's only been primarily positive in terms of my mentality. So the mentality that I do in fighting games is the same mentality I approach in other areas. So I'm training my composure, I'm training my fundamentals and etc. through fighting games. And it's like, I want to push myself, as hard as I can within reason, right? But find, as a coach, as someone who enjoys sports psychology, I also want to find ways and disprove stereotypes about older people not being able to be viable, right? Like I almost want to be an example for older people. There's already enough of those as it is. So I wouldn't be the first example. I'd be like the 1,000th example. But if one more person contributes to demystifying those stereotypes and also pursuing their own goals, well, why the hell not? You know what I'm saying? All right, this is a new area. I don't think I want to explore this yet until I get back to Rebecca. So let's lock the fuck in for a second here and see where we need to go. Share your thoughts if you have any thoughts, but I'm trying to lock in real fast. I'm in the main area. Do I need to go down below? See, I'm getting punished to a degree, and this is where it's like, this is a me problem. I acknowledge that, but I also wonder if it has to be that difficult, right? I'm gonna finish the game regardless, but this is where it's like I have criticism that could be considered negative. It's not something that I enjoy. I think that I would like to have an indicator because it kind of teased me. It was like, okay, you've never done it before, but now you're doing that. All right, cool. I have a priority. Let me go ahead and do that because it's urgent, but it's still urgent. I have the cure now. Where the fuck do I go again? Cause like, I'm not, my sense of direction is on Zolo level. So it's like, yeah, that's a me problem, but it doesn't have to be with an easy fix. And I got baited and would have been more cautious if they didn't show me that location first time and then like take it away immediately afterwards when I still have to achieve this goal. So, I'm frustrated. It's important to acknowledge those kind of things, but it's also like, while I'm frustrated at the developers and or the game itself, I am also frustrated at myself for not just doing that anyway. So I'm holding myself accountable. I'll look at the politics conversations. Moshi, you seeing the trend here? So I'm frustrated at myself and acknowledge that it's my mess up, but I also have no problem. I have no problem saying that I think that could have been there's an issue with the developers as well. So no, this is not where I went. It had to have been upstairs. And I hear a crimson head. I hear a crimson head coming at me. You also make me think I need to get checked for ADHD. I can ask you some questions. Now, look, I'm not licensed, but I can I can say, I know a lot, and I still talk to a psychologist that I see now that is also like, I watched them test my son as well. I've literally watched the ADHD test happen. I'm not going to ever diagnose. No diagnosis is ever. I don't have a degree. Well, until I get my degree in psychology. which I have not started yet. I got to work on. I have a bachelor's right now, the best. So anyway, I'll ask you questions. They're not on the test. These are just questions that I think are indicators, not that are on the question. Just to be clear. Let me see here. My wife says I have ADHD, haven't been diagnosed, but the symptoms kind of match my brain. Yeah. So first off, I want to make sure this is the first thing I'd like to clarify. This helped my dad understand it a lot better too, because he was very anti like ADHD in the sense of it being something other than something you got to overcome and get over, right? And not something that actually is like explainable. So I say that to understand that where we are now scientifically is we can scan the brain and see the ADHD. You don't have to do that in order to test for ADHD at all, because the questions will definitely help with that in the tests that they do. But it helps us understand that there is actually something physiologically happening with how our brains function. So it's not something that like, oh, I just, use sheer force of will, believe it, Uchiha, Ryu, Naruto type shit. It's like, no, your brain does work differently. Yes, you can still operate like a neurotypical version of or a neurotypical person to some degree. Like you can do that by thinking about things differently or utilizing the parts of ADHD that are positive, because I think there's more positive than negative personally. But not knowing that difference changes, like, I think it is important to get tested if it's relevant, right? Like I don't think everybody has to get tested, but I do honestly think it is something that we should put into or consider, like, I don't want to say being free, but I think there's a monetary incentive to make it free for the government. Actually, in my opinion, I think there's an argument to say that the positive of the ADHD is, if harnessed properly and fostered, make a person with ADHD highly efficient as people and still happy, right? But it's just that we don't understand how the brain worked for too long, and now general public has an old understanding of it. So I just wanted to clarify that first off, there's a physiological difference in being neurodivergent versus neurotypical. Like this is something that can be seen in the brain, right? So I'm 39. I was not under that understanding for most of my life until in the last like probably less than 3 years, right? And I followed ADHD for a good while. Like I was always looking at like different things on it, but I definitely got a big burst of it when I talked to a therapist about it. As an adult, after getting diagnosed again in my late 30s, it was ADHD and depression. But then I also learned that ADHD is closely linked to depression. And when my life changed so drastically during the pandemic, it like I hadn't had depression for a long time. I had really like gotten over that. So it like changed, like a lot of me changed, and a lot of my ADHD symptoms kind of came back that I used to mask or had routine for, because I couldn't have the same routine anymore. I just couldn't with the way the world was working. So a lot of my habits just kind of like fell through, and I had to like work on my health again. So anyway, I digress. One of the first questions I love to ask, it's a weird one, but I like to ask is, do you have a low tolerance for hypocrisy? Like you might have heard me mention this before, but you guys in the chat, if you're still there, let me know if you have a low, like if you consider yourself to have a low, like you recognize hypocrisy probably more than people that might not have a problem with it. And yeah, let me know that. I'm gonna go downstairs. Now I'm gonna go to the right. I think I just unlocked this door. No. So I have to go this way, I think. And I'm just gonna check all the rooms this way and hope that I find the right way. I could have just gone back and played my video. What? Do I go upstairs then? I thought I was already upstairs. This is the same room. I'm confident it was on this side. So it's going to be a red room. It might be that typewriter room up there. Maybe it wouldn't be a red room if there's no items in there. This game, man. See, if I get real desperate, then I can just go back and play my video. But I didn't think I came this way. I'm confident I didn't. Man. You never thought about it? Yes, maybe. Okay. D'Amico, what about you? Do you know what a quiet mind sounds like? Have you ever experienced a quiet mind? Or do you regularly experience quiet minds is a better question. Do you regularly experience quiet minds? Okay, I'm gonna go back to my video. I'm not gonna waste more time. I gotta look for the video for Rebecca. I'm pretty sure it was before my like long talk about esports and stuff. So I'm scrubbing for Rebecca here. I'm just scrubbing the video here. I'll bring it over. I think you can see that, right? Is it playing right now? No. Okay, there it goes. Hold on. I sound so angry, golly. Nah. I was proud of myself right there. Oh my god, I make myself giggle. I'm so silly. Oh my goodness gracious. Where the heck is it? It's after this. Why does my audio sound so scuffed? Am I too loud? Am I peaking right now? I don't like my audio. Oh. I got you. Like I love teaching fighting games, but this coffee is terrible. I had to mute a few times. Okay. I'm having a... Where the hell? Shut up. Shut up, you. It has to be after this. And I just feel like the Resident Evil... I'm gonna turn down a little bit. When talking about this game, what? Because one, when I'm playing games... I'm flipping that. Oh, Twitch clip that. I forgot, that's a thing. Was it after that? So I can say Twitch clip that and it should do that for me, but I'm gonna go ahead and press the damn button before it's too late. Because I don't want to go ahead and like screw up through the footage. Okay, but I will get a timestamp of when that is. Alright, let's lock back in. Yeah, I'm just scrubbing through and I'm trying to look for the... Tuesday. Oh wait, was it here? Not every single one has been packed, but I've definitely packed the advanced ones where I get more. It has to be. No, it's before all that, right? Ah. Yes. So it was on the second floor. Oh, wait, go back. Oh. Ha! Okay. Second floor. It was on the second floor. It is that staircase type room. Okay, it's this room right here. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but it's this little L-shaped Tetris stealth bomber looking ass region of the game. Hold on, let me grab the chat real fast. Where'd I put you? Where'd I put you guys? Damn. God dang it. Oh, interesting. Okay. And then let me bring that chat back. Sorry, I had to hide the chat, Boshi. Don't you play? How do I get the chat back? Give me my chat back, damn it. Wait, I just saw the icon for it. Where'd it go? Yeah, there we go. Okay, we got the chat back. We got the chat. You couldn't see the video? I'm sorry. Yeah, I was scrubbing through it. I don't know why it did hit it from you guys. I gotta have my desktop on top next time. But I did find it. It's this little L shape right there. So we're gonna go there now. That's pretty easy to get to, I believe. Aha! I've bested you, Capcom. You won't get to me. I'm gonna use every strategy I can within reason. There might be a red guy in here. Redhead. Crimson Chin. We're gonna go with that. Literally the first door to the right. That guy's long dead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry whoever that was. Andrew, what was his name? He's dead. What? Wait. Okay. I was like, what? I did. Jeva! Well. Where's the serum? Did I leave the serum? Oh no. That can't be right. Wait. How did I get back without the serum? I thought I picked it up. Am I tripping, Boshi? Am I that far gone? Boshi, wait, Boshi, were you saying no to a quiet mind? Sorry, I wasn't looking at your chat for a second there. And then where's the other chat at? Golly. Come on, man. Fox News. Where's the Twitch chat at? Brother, man. Stream robot is killing me. Oh well. Where is that going? Ah, shit. We're back. Yes, that's a no to the quiet question. Okay. Why is my chat being so weird? What is going on, y'all? I'll just do this. That'll be easier for me. I thought I did. I'm not sure if I did. And where Rebecca is now, though, we're gonna roll with it. If the game lets me keep playing, I'm gonna keep playing. I'm sorry, this guy's gonna have to just die because if I die, I'll start over. But I'm not backtrack. Oh snap, my boy! SpongeBob, me boy. Emblem key, shield him. Oh, you nasty. Damn. Let me think about more questions too. Do you know what hyperfixating is? Where's Rebecca at? Yo, Rebecca, I got some sheet music for you to look at. I cannot carry anymore. Okay. I know where ammo's at. Ammo is right here in this room, down there. I'm kind of doing it for myself. I'm like leaving notes for myself in these videos so that I can find them if I lose them now. I am going to like, I'm going to just say that sometimes so that it makes it easier for me to find it in these VODs. Yeah, you're not going to beat me, Capcom. You're not going to beat me, all right? God dang it. All right, now what kind of items are in here? This is the amp. Oh, ooh. Stop. Bro, yo. I know you want to punch a boulder, my guy, but just chill out for a second. I wanted to go around. I didn't want to push things. This guy. Always wanted to punch boulders and push things, man. Always trying to move things with his whole body. I can't see nothing new. Wait, I can light candles and shit. Let's see. Maybe. You mother... If I want any semblance of safety, then I gotta frickin' fight a zombie. I'm trying to figure if I want to waste ammo on this guy or not. I really don't want to. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm in my Shaun of the Dead era of Resident Evil, you know what I'm saying? So I'm what did I get out of that? Well, maybe I gotta push it the other way. Because it's letting me push the other way. That makes me think that I have to push it this way. Come on, bro. Let's go. Come on. Turn that corner. There you go. Good job. Now you don't want to push it. Yeah. Wait. Mother... You were a fucking snake. You thought you were too, you son of a bitch. That done pissed me off. I don't like both y'all's bodies on fire, but I don't got my kerosene with me. You're lucky. Come around these goddamn paws, piss me dang on off. I'll let you run this son of a bitch and goddamn. Huh? Hey. Space is a commodity as well. And it ain't cheap right now. I'm so annoyed right now. Oh my god. Oh my god. Y'all some Capcom. You think you're funny. You think you're funny. Was there even anything in here? These guys are gonna come back as Crimson Heads for sure. Oh. All right, here's what I'll do. Here's the plan. Here's the plan. It's 11. So what I'm going to do is we're going to head back to a save room and save it. But we now know that we want to come back to this room right here and grab the shotgun ammo and check it for anything else in there. We also know that... Where the hell is it? This L-shaped room right here is where the old dude died, and that I believe the cure was somewhere in this region right here, but you'll have to go back to the previous video to confirm that. So that'll be last week's video as of 8/16/26. Cool. Every Sunday we stream. We stream every Sunday at 6:30. It's going to be political talk. We're going to be on TikTok as well, so TikTok live. But if you want to check that out, right, you can check me debating MAGA. I talk a lot about politics from I'm independent. I'm not left or right or anything like that, but I just really care about integrity and accountability. So if you want to check that conversation out, check those debates out. Follow me on TikTok as well at the Philocypher. Twitch.tv/the-Philocypher, and then every 8 o'clock-ish time, depending on the conversations and debates, you can check me out playing some Resident Evil right now. We're going through all the Resident Evils, going with all the remakes, I should say. So 1 remake, 2 remake, 3, And the 4 as well, which I'm excited for. 2 and 4. I've never played the remakes of those. I've played 3 off stream before, but we'll be playing 3 possibly with some mods if I can find some good ones that work for me, just to add more content. They've been making some mods that add extra content that was taken out of the original Resident Evil 3 that I would like to experience. So if there's a mod for that one and it's stable, I'll get that too. Otherwise, we'll just do a run through, maybe at a higher difficulty if I feel the need to do so, but probably not, because I want to get to 4, because 4 Remake looks amazing. I've seen other people play it. I've played the original 4. Super excited for that one. 5 and 6, I'm going to be playing hopefully with a friend as well who's never played the Resident Evil series, I think as a whole, or at least not 5 and 6 for sure. We'll be playing that together co-op. I'll be playing the secondary characters through most of that if I can, because I'm excited for them to experience it as the main character and maybe kind of a side character to an extent. I also think Sheva is like hella cool. Like Sheva's is cooler than Chris for me, so it's a win-win in my opinion. Hopefully. I think Chris is awesome. I think Chris is amazing in 5. I love Resident Evil 5 Chris. He's also in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Infinite, I believe. And it's pretty much the 5 version of him / kind of 6 for Infinite. But it's just a fun time. It's a super great action. Like you have to think of Resident Evil 5 and 6 as like the Resident Evil movies. They're very entertaining, but they are like almost nothing to do with the first Resident Evils up to 4. Except for, you know, the games actually do reference the lore. So that one actually is just more of the action gameplay atmosphere issue. Like a lot of daylight in that game. It's not a horror game. It's an action game. You know, but it gave Resident Evil that same story feel. I felt like the storyline was just as ridiculous and the cutscenes were damn amazing. Albert Wesker is one of the coolest villains of all time, and it's Resident Evil 5 / Code Veronica, I believe, Wesker. That is amazing, and got into Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 as well, along with Jill Valentine. I think her OG version was cool in VC 2 personally, but some people like 3, and I think that the character wasn't bad, but I still just like I don't know, for some reason there was never a Chris or a Wesker in that one. Jill was. They changed her drastically. Whatever though, if people like it, still cool to me. But yeah, 5 and 6 great games. Anyways, let's get back to the save room because I can't just save the game and leave. So we're gonna actually get back into this game and get to the save point and deal with these zombies because we're still in some immediate danger. I might still die and lose progress here. I got to get back to the point, so we got to lock the hell in for the rest of this little bit of the game. So let's do that. And again, I have a terrible sense of direction, so it's like I'm kind of constantly putting myself in situations where my skills screw me over, or my lack thereof screw me over. But you know, I still like these games, and I want to persevere regardless of my deficiencies in this game. So let me think of another question for you two while we do this. Definitely hit me harder than I was anticipating. I can acknowledge that. But I can't say I'm having a bad time because I'm having a good old time right now. And the conversation, honestly, I want to have more of those on my gaming stream too. Like, I'm still that guy, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm that guy. All right. I think I can just swerve on him. We're gonna swerve on him, all right? You ready? We're gonna that way. We're gonna run at him, then swerve around. Swerve! Got him! Spin move. Hit him with that action. There's 2 green herbs in there, by the way, me. Note that later. I saw them. I clocked it. I clocked it. We're locked in, y'all. We're gonna go left. I gotta give myself commands. I damn sure will. I'm locking into fighting game mode. God damn it. Posture. Fix the shoulders and neck. There's a save room right here, but I gotta get to a save box because I don't have my save ribbons on me. I don't keep that thing on me, unfortunately. I gotta give myself one of those. Oh, do you know? Did you say you know what hyperfixating is? Sorry. Box and uses for. Who just typed that in the chat? I think that was a lie. I typed in Trump news off stream, and I'm not seeing any reports of this. Todd Blanche is the only news that I saw. Now, like 2 hours ago. I am not going to be Googling specifically that statement that was said. I don't think that's something good to have in your search history. So I'm not going to look up specifically what was said, but Seraph, if you're messing around, I am not cool with that kind of stuff. I'm not wishing that kind of violence on anybody, nor do I want to be associated with anybody, you know, doing that to put myself in like any kind of legal danger or put my family in any legal danger. I'm not cool with that. So if that's a joke, that's not funny to me. Not cool. I hate the guy, but not something that I want to like celebrate or anything. Can I get this way to the save room? I should be able to, but I'm afraid that door is going to screw me over. And then there's Crimson Heads. There's 2 Crimson Heads I'm going to encounter, I believe. Lock in, lock in, lock in. Posture. I don't want to take more damage than I'm gotta. I don't have any saving things on me right now. Where do I gotta go? I gotta go left. I'll have to go upstairs and back down around, I believe. Oh, wait, no, I unlocked a shortcut. We're going to use these pauses to get back to the point. Like, I'm going to compose. So, all I can do is run forward, react to the zombie if I see one. I don't hear one right now, so if it's there, it's not going to be there. I'm going to try to swerve, but not too swervy. Can't see shit. There's a zombie at the window, I believe. Might have just played myself, but let's go ahead and turn back around here. It's the end of this hallway. Yeah, turn to the right. Right. I do not see a door there. I'm just pressing A at the wall. I have a light in my face, so that might be part of the issue. But I may have to turn up or turn down the brightness or something. I gotta go around the corner, I believe. I think there's a zombie. No. Maybe. Just stay ready. I want to burn that body. I don't want to even entertain that he's not going to get back up to the Crimson Head. So we're going to burn his body first before we do anything else. I'm not going to load up the game next week and get jump scared by a damn zombie outside the save room. I'm not having that happen when I can avoid that whole situation. We're not doing it. We are not doing that shit. I'm going to put the key in there. If I find a room that needs a key, I will come back and get it. I'll note that in my stream. Take the ink ribbon. We're going to take the burny stuff, the burn juice. Here's the burn juice. We're going to go outside. I don't care how old this body is. I don't care what the game says. Swear to God, that guy had come up. I didn't, in my head, until I opened that door, consider the scenario that he might turn into a Crimson Head, and then I immediately thought of it and got scared that I was going to load in and get jump scared. I'll burn another body when I get there. Screw it. Where's the type? Oh. I don't care about the bed. Oh. You really gotta like dungeon wall chicken this game sometimes, because it's almost like Elden Ring in the sense that like the camera angles don't always tell you everything that's there, and you have to really check and play with the depth of field in the map or whatever it is, right? To really make sure that there's not stuff there, and you have to press A or press the interact button just to check, because sometimes there's random clues, sometimes paintings you can interact with, sometimes paintings have things behind them, not always, but sometimes they do, and usually they will give you a description. Sometimes the description has nothing to do with nothing at all. Sometimes it's actually a very crucial clue that you got to know. So I really respect the developers for the depth of interacting with the world in various forms in the game, various mediums within the game, like messages, video, sometimes VHS tapes, maybe an audio file, a cutscene, and then like a science note, or versus a personal journal or diary, versus some sort of analytical science analysis of a patient or a subject or something like that, right? And then having clues weaved within those, and safety boxes or safes, right? Safe numbers in them and things like that, all that kind of stuff mixed in there. I don't know how people organize shit like that into a game. Like, how do you organize your thoughts well enough to be able to put that into a game? Baboshi, but let me close out this. I'll chat for just a little bit if you're still around to finish some of the ADHD talk. But if you like this video, make sure you do like the video, subscribe, share wherever you can. Right now on the gaming side, it's just VODs and stuff. But if you want to come to any of my live streams, interact with me, ask me questions, talk, I am totally down to do that kind of stuff. But thank you guys so much, and I'll see you all in that next stream. Y'all have the greatest of nights, or the best of days. And I'm going to close out the stream. Oh, wait, Boshi. You're on YouTube, aren't you? You're not on Twitch. Almost forgot. Yeah, it was a while back, I think. Picked up. Wait, who did I miss here? Nick's Pulse? The chat wasn't updated. I was missing some of this. Oh, I wasn't looking. I was locked in. That's right. And then did you answer the hyperfixation? Like, if you're familiar with it? Basically, though, in the meantime, it's why is my chat not chatting? Not working. I'm gonna double check it on this. You are. Okay. Well then, I mean, this will be bonus footage on this video, this VOD. I'm not worried about the YouTube video seeing it, but yeah, if I ever edit the video, that's where it'll be. I don't think I'm gonna edit anytime soon. But yeah, well, I guess I have to know how old you are as well. If you're in your 30s, things might be a little bit different, because people will develop skills like masking, where you don't necessarily associate with a kind of behavior that's normal, but you know enough to know that it is something that's normally done. So you kind of create that pattern in yourself, even though you might not really care about it, right? That's a roundabout way of explaining what masking can be, because it's not one specific aspect of your life, and not just people with ADHD do this. People who are neurotypical do this too, but a lot of times it's more prevalent. It's kind of like if a person with autism, for example, they sometimes don't understand the social interactions and never fully will, but they might intellectually understand them enough, or be enough aware intellectually to know that this is a better thing to do, right? A lot of people who prefer to be self-reliant that have autism tend to develop those skills or mask those kinds of skills. They don't naturally have them, but they develop them because they want certain things that it gets them. Sometimes the thing they have to do is irrelevant, but like if you want more money, for example, it's easier to work at a job where you make more money. A lot of times those require you to interact with other people and win their favor. You might not naturally be strong at that, right? People with ADHD are similar to that, where it's like you might not have the ability to remember things too often because you don't keep your focus in check enough. But it doesn't look like you're keeping your focus in check. It doesn't look like you're keeping your focus in check. It looks like you're just forgetting things, when in reality, a lot of times people with ADHD, they just get distracted so often, or think about so many things at the same time, or do so many things at the same time, mentally or physically, that they don't have the capacity to actually fully hear what's being said, to register it, to even remember it. So it's never actually getting to your memory banks. It's basically just being bounced off, in one ear and out the other kind of thing, because it's like you hear it, but there's a reason why the Charlie Brown thing is so that's a very millennial meme, because we grew up with that cartoon. It might be kind of old nowadays, but that was very much like the meme for that. And in my head, I always took it that way because I could relate to it. But in reality, it's like, yeah, you're doing the wah 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 by zoning out, so the sound really replicated what the kids were hearing, not what was actually happening, right? You're seeing the show from the kids' perspective. And so one priority that kids had that was at level 0 was the morning announcements, right? So that's usually why it comes through like a speaker sound of just like the morning bullshit that teachers talk about, or the staff talk about, the principal talks about. Like, I don't care, I'm here because I don't want to be. It's like 9 in the morning, why are you talking to me about this nonsense? I can't remember this. People with ADHD in particular are just almost likely never going to remember any of those things because it's just not relevant at all. Unless they absolutely love the morning announcements, you probably didn't remember a single one as soon as you got to talking to your first classmate or the teacher started talking or whatever it was. If that's you, it's very likely that you might have ADHD, right? Because it's people with ADHD tend to have so much focus that they will split it amongst different things because they're everything feels slower to them. This gets into the term time blindness, where the passage of time, as we understand it from what I've been explained, is that people with ADHD tend to have more time blindness. It's not just an ADHD thing, but it is something that is very prevalent with most people with ADHD, not necessarily all. And again, masking helps people fix that. Different routines that you build can override those issues to where they're irrelevant for that person. But it could have been a trained skill where you naturally didn't. But either way, time blindness is just this area where the perception of time is different. Everyone does this again, like when you're having a really good time and time seems to go by really quickly, versus when you just hate like being in class and you're bored and it's like, oh my God, when is this class going to be over? Time feels stretched out. Everyone does that, I think, to some degree. It's just that we can do it at a different capacity or higher. I don't know. I don't want to say higher, but our capacity for it is we're more prevalent to do it more often, essentially. And it's not just I don't know if I understand enough to know for sure definitively what's happening, so I can't speak too confidently on the physiology of it all. Only the parts that I understand how it affects us. It's still very fascinating, and I don't know if it's fully been understood yet, is what I'm guessing, because I would, if there was a full understanding of it, I feel like I would know, because it's very fascinating stuff. But maybe I just went through one ear and out the other. I don't know. But yes. It's a very, very fascinating topic for me. I love talking about it. I think it's very helpful. I think it's helpful for people to know if they have ADHD, because once you understand that your brain works differently, it feels almost liberating to leverage the good areas of ADHD while working on the areas that are weaker. That's what I think. As soon as I feel negative about time, I seem to slow to a painful crawl. As soon as I feel negative about the time. What do you mean? But yeah, so time blindness is just sort of a byproduct from my understanding, or in my opinion, I think part of what time blindness is a byproduct of not being able to of things like hyper fixation mixed with hyper focusing, right? Something I was going to say earlier is people with ADHD tend to have a tendency to get hyper focused on certain things they're really passionate about. Like it doesn't have to always be like your trade or anything, just something you get into, like for modeling, like making train models or whatever. For some people, for me it could be gaming. A lot of times I like making music. I don't really do it for anybody. I just like learning how to make music, and I usually try to keep it to like 25 minutes, but I'll just sit there and try to do it for as long as I can in short bursts until I get distracted by something else. But more lately I've been consistent with that, but that's like the tendency would be there. So it's like hyper fixating is this thing where it's like, I have to focus on this thing. Like, this is very interesting to me and I'm going to put my attention into this thing right now. It doesn't sound like that or look like that in reality, but it's sort of what is like the feeling is. And so that is hyper fixation, where it's like, I have to focus on this thing, versus hyper focusing is that I am very focused on this thing and only this thing right now, and so that way I am working on like every aspect of it. Like the hyper focusing is the actual thing you're doing. The hyper fixating is the desire to want to do that thing, right? So the fixation can sometimes be you ignore priorities sometimes, or you ignore how much time is passing by, to the point to where it's like, it's not necessarily anything relevant to like your job or anything. It's just a random thing you're interested in, and now like you've been focusing on it for an hour or two for no reason, when it should have taken 15 minutes to do it. Stuff like that. That's very prevalent in people like that. And the hyperfixating is a thing that is like both I think are useful to understand because then you can leverage it. Like the hyper focusing, this is more my opinion than anything else, but it's not, I'm saying it in a way that's my opinion while it's also being backed scientifically. So I want to make that articulation that this aspect is not fact, because it's very important to me, to people, that they don't mix the facts and the opinions for everybody, myself included. And so I think that part of the thing is that part of our byproduct is we actually focus better than people, or can focus to a higher degree on average than the neurotypical person. The evidence that we've talked about earlier, or the facts that we talked about earlier, and the aspects of it, it's just that the metaphor these two psychologists give in this book, ADHD 2.0, it's like having a race car engine with bicycle brakes. And when I heard that term, it really hit me and really embodied everything they went to explain, everything I knew about ADHD up until that point, everything I had learned from my therapist and psychologist. That stuff really helped to explain it. But it's like, yeah, you have bicycle brakes, but there's a race car in your engine, in your brain. There's a race car in your brain. It's kind of cool knowing that. And I've seen that, and I've even seen it in my son as well. It's been very fascinating, and studying it with myself for the years, doing a lot of coaching and esports with high school and college students and running summer camps. I've seen and talked about this topic, and I've talked about it with the best coaches in the world as well. So not only have I done my own research to understand this, I've also asked these kinds of questions I'm talking about right now with people like Edward Cleland, who's actually like he's a practitioner with people like Hikari, the chess master, right? Really great guy, really knowledgeable, coaching at the highest level. I think he's studied or is studying psychology as well. Like he's been doing this for a while. And this is something that he also finds interesting, or has talked about with me, I should say. So it's not like I'm being irresponsible with my information, but I'm still making sure that I clarify that, like, there are some credibilities to what I'm saying that I've talked about with professionals, including psychologists and sports practitioners, right? I love this topic, but anyways, yeah, so that is some of the aspects that I understand about ADHD and explain in a way that isn't just the first layer of understanding it, because I do think it's important that society understands things like ADHD, or as a whole, things like being neurodivergent, because I think that with a little bit of tweaking in society, people with ADHD can really tap into their potential at a higher rate. I think a lot of people with ADHD, we tend to be very susceptible to depression. And for me personally, I will say that I can say confidently that part of my depression was contributed to the fact that I was aware that I was different from other people, but I didn't know why, and I didn't know how to fix it. And this is why I'm very passionate about this kind of thing, because that experience growing up, that fish out of water, that fish being told to fly kind of lifestyle that I lived for school and for some of my upbringing, that can really affect you, right? So while we might psychologically or physiologically be susceptible to depression, I absolutely believe that some of the misconceptions or some of the societal norms that we see in society contribute to that depression in some degree, because there's no way for us to not feel like the other in some situations, especially in educational and social situations. It can be very hard when in fact our brains we're a lot smarter, but we can't control what we're interested in, right? One other important aspect to understand is that sometimes it's very hard for us to motivate ourselves to do things that we know are important, but aren't important to us personally. That is, I think, one of the biggest issues that leads to things like depression, that leads to things like not being able to be self-sustaining, being able to live on your own, being able to adult, so to speak. That is one of those aspects that a lot of people with ADHD have to overcome. And that's a big area where masking comes in my opinion, right? And so, yeah, that's an important part to understand, because the depression part, there's so much to touch on. I can't touch on all of it, but that part is a lot more nuanced. So I'm trying to say that these are aspects, not the only contributors or the only aspects to the depression, because I do, from what I understand, believe there is partly a physiological aspect in our brain that can be explained or pointed out to, that might also contribute to it. But it might just be more of we have less of a guard to it kind of thing. Like we have less of a guard to to focusing, right? And we can't really focus if we're not interested. That's it's sort of like a cascade effect where our will and our desires are bigger influencers on how we interact with the world around us. Like in school, we might look very dumb because we just don't give a damn. That was absolutely me. I failed my Spanish grade class in like 9th grade, even though I literally got like A's and like B pluses on all of my tests. I failed my Spanish class purely because I didn't do homework. I did like a 0 homework because I did not care about Spanish class once I left that class. I did not retain any information, but I was so fucking smart that I aced almost every single test and people cheated off of me. Same thing with biology, same thing with like geometry. I hate math, but geometry was just kind of cool to me, so I remembered it, but I never did any of that shit outside of school unless I was like, I really don't want to pass or don't want to fail this class, right? But for some reason with my Spanish class, I just didn't care. I think I did all the other important ones like math and stuff, I could prioritize. But then Spanish class, I just took summer classes, summer school, and didn't get left back because of it. So I took summer school for a couple of classes. I think it was another math class too, or English class, because I purely didn't care. I got put in a special needs class in like 8th grade. This is a class where they put all like the R words back in the day, right? And in that year, I think it was 8th grade, there's a thing called Battle of the Books. It's basically like a quiz, like a trivia quiz for like a lot of novels and stuff, like Oliver Twist, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Sherlock Holmes, Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, a lot of other books, Oliver Twist, I don't know if I mentioned that one already, several other popular ones as well, like maybe To Kill a Mockingbird or some shit. And basically it was like all the classes, all the different teachers' classes of that year for like I don't know exactly how it worked out, but like there were different groups of kids. Like maybe the other ones were just selected differently or they made their own teams. I don't know exactly, but we only had like a handful of kids in our class. Like our classes were a lot smaller, because they were harder to work with kids. So it was pretty much our whole entire class. Like maybe a few people didn't want to do it. So it was like maybe 5 of us or so in each team. And there was like probably 8 teams at first. And we ended up getting second or third place, right? We were like the R word class, right? We were the slow class back then. And the only reason why we didn't win, because we were right every single time and everyone thought we were going to win, but one of the kids had moved away that read a book that nobody else had read. I had read multiple books because I was a captain of that year. I led our team to getting to 2nd or 3rd place in the Battle of the Books competition that year. And I still have that trophy to this day. And that was because all of the kids in that group were so competitive that we wanted to beat everybody else, because most of us were just like a bunch of like black kids and Hispanic kids and shit like that fucking hated these other kids that thought we were stupid or slow. So we were like, we're petty as hell, we're gonna beat these guys and we're gonna study this shit. We didn't anticipate one of our classmates moving away, but that's to show you how bad we were in my upbringing on how to assess how a kid is smart or not smart. We bodied everybody else. I read multiple books myself just to make sure that we won that year. And like, while we didn't win, and while I was devastated that we didn't win, it was important for me to realize that like somebody in that tournament, I think the people that won told us that like we should have won and we thought you guys were going to beat us, right? Like they respected us. We got what we wanted. We got the respect of everybody else. Like, so all the kids fucking knew. Maybe the adults didn't fully understand the situation because they were so stupid back then about this kind of stuff, but they underutilized our potential because they didn't know how to motivate us. And that's their fuck up. We were kids, but that shit taught me a very important lesson that I didn't fully figure out for years down the line, that our will, our motivation can be harnessed by ourselves to achieve a goal. But we have to learn how to like do that for ourselves, because it's not something that a book is going to tell us all the time. It might help, but it's like, how do you pick your own priorities? And then how do you see the world around you to make sure that you're doing this shit you hate because you want that goal? And I think that's useful, period, not just for neurodivergent people, but we have to do that pretty much because we don't consciously do that on our own. Like we don't have that natural will. I don't, right? I'm not going to speak for everybody, because again, it's a spectrum. Not everyone's on that same area in that spectrum. It's a broad spectrum. So for me, I still have to force myself to like kind of see the focus on like my family, because things change, like working on the home ownership, and in doing those things despite what I do or don't want to do, and understanding that how my brain works really helped with that. So yeah, that is what I will say tonight on ADHD. And before I close it out, I will read the chat real quick. And you're talking about time blindness and time seeming to warp. I make up entire songs in my head and then they are gone forever. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. What is the cause of ADHD? I was very surprised not everyone has a form of internal monologue. Yeah, bro. That's wild. That's what I'm saying. It's like some people can't see things in their head. Like I know people close to me that can't visualize or see a picture in their head or play a video in their head. I see the world in like videos all the time, or like I can hear the audio, I can think thoughts, multiple conversations in my head at the same time, right? I can literally close my eyes right now and then like kind of visualize in my own senses. Like it's in my head, so it's not like I'm seeing with my eyes, just seeing the thoughts with my whole mind. It's hard to explain, and if you don't actually do that yourself, it's damn near impossible to even articulate. Like they might get it to an intellectual degree, but it's like talking to a blind person about color, right? Or talking about a blue rose, right? A blue rose that has withered. Like, how many layers of confusion have you added to that situation by saying that they will never understand? So intellectually they'll understand it, but they will never sensually, is that right? Sensorily? Their sensors will never experience that. And that sensory experience does not get stored in their memory banks. Hillary Banks. Let me slow down for a second here. Hold on. I'm excited. I love this kind of stuff. I'm sorry. Yeah, I digress. It's crazy stuff. My issue is articulated what is going on in my head. Articulating. Pressure and stress can be good motivators. Good on human innovation was during World War, I think. War and famine, ecological disasters. Yeah, man, this is a whole topic and a half. Maybe if you remind me, I can delve on it more deeply another day. But the I don't know where to start to call it. But the mindset, the conversation, the philosophy around things like hardship building character and hardship building, like inspiring growth in people, I think is a very broad topic. I think what you're talking about is in line with that conversation, that mentality, philosophy, etc. Right? Because there's multiple aspects of that topic that I can't specifically point to, but they all can be and are relevant to the topic. So I will say in general, hardship building character or innovation or growth, that is something that I personally, in short, I believe is true, but I fear the conversation around this topic is often decided by people who don't deserve to make that decision. That's the struggle that I deal with around this topic, is that I think it is a very important topic, and at the individual level, I've believed it to be true, and I've seen it with my son to some degree. But in doing so again, the constant conversation around the ethics of this topic, I believe, always have to be questioned and looked at and scrutinized to a annoying degree, because the impact of which is so devastating if done wrong that it's irreversible, and in my opinion can sometimes be irredeemable. So I love this topic, and it also concerns me because I feel very strongly about it in a multitude of ways. Does that make sense? Let me pull up my Twitch chat too. I don't know if Twitch chat is still talking. I didn't see any notifications or anything, but my shit's been weird all night tonight. I'm trying to, where is my Twitch? Okay, cool. I think I agree. Looking at human history, we have a track record of making the right decisions. Wait. We have a terrible track record with making the right decisions. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That is the issue I have, Boshi, and I honestly, I promise you, I feel this to the 1,000% that, how do I articulate? I truly believe that this topic, if approached properly, could push us into a paradise, but our egos and our selfishness have led us astray from that, because I feel that some people decided all throughout history to make these kinds of decisions for everybody else, and I understand the impossibility of getting anybody to agree on anything in any group or area whatsoever. Those people still made those choices, for better or for worse. And the only complaint that I have is that there, at this point throughout history, is we have had enough information, in my opinion, to be more mature than where we are right now. And it is frustratingly pathetic that we are so behind, in my opinion, because my expectations are so high for our society that I am frustrated to the point to where I'm doing these streams to try to figure out how to make a difference in this world. This topic is so incredibly important to me. I don't necessarily always focus on it on my stream, but it is something that is very tethered to my worth as a person, as a contributor to myself, my family, and my society, or our society. This is one of those strong foundational topics that I feel very strongly on. But also, I continually look at how do we do things in the most ethical way possible for what we know now, right? What we know now. And this thinking about this topic sometimes gets me mad, knowing that people who have much more than me should know so much better than what they know about how to treat people, for example, in particular. So it's a great topic, and I get excited to talk about it. I have to be very careful about how I talk about it for my own integrity, and also because of how it might influence other people, right? Oh, I was like, what the hell was that noise? I just disagree with the focus on MAGA specifically. Any other? Well, so here's the thing, is I've gotten really good at recognizing where the biggest problems are, because a lot of my career has been making things better, making people better. As an animation lead, one of the first big jobs that I had was teaching animators or working with animators beneath me that were better animators than me, and realizing that I didn't have to be the best animator to get the best results. And being able to utilize other people and bringing out the best in great animators helped me understand that concept. And then I realized that I wanted to do that in competitive aspects, which is why I got into esports. And yeah, man, my point is that I got really good at recognizing how to make a lot of things better, even in businesses and stuff like that. Like even in factories, I get promoted in areas. Even in sales, I got promoted in areas because I might not have been the best salesman or the best employee at a specific job, but I made things better. I made the processes more efficient. I made the people's mindsets more efficient, essentially. And in doing so, made the outcome or made the output higher. Right? So I always found myself getting promoted even in jobs that I hated, because I always focused on just making things better. I promise you that the biggest problem in our society right now, like immediately to where the direction that we're going in America, like there is, in my opinion, I gotta say this responsibly, from what I can see, from my vantage point, there's a lot of internal conflict in our country. In my opinion, the best thing to do is to help more people understand that both Donald Trump and the people that support him do not have America's best interest in mind, nor do they have the world's best interest in mind. They are willing to do some terrible things that are both not legal or ethical and throw everybody else under the bus in the process, including trans people, including black people, and including all of the LGBTQ. Like, pretty much anyone not loyal to Trump, like, this isn't a racial thing, right? Anyone not loyal to Donald Trump and his administration, there is issues between the two sides. And so, in my personal opinion, and while I've already hinted at many other problems that are going to be on the docket, and I'm going to talk about, because I don't want to go back to what we were, I want to be better than what we were, because where we were in America was not great, my guy. And we have an opportunity to do better. So while I'm focusing on MAGA right now, they won't always be my focus, but I promise you this, I am very certain that they are the biggest priority right now in our society. And so while I know you intellectually disagree, and maybe understand to some level intellectually, or maybe empathetically, I promise you, I know what the hell I'm talking about, and I know what I'm seeing. And I am somebody who acknowledges all of the information and presented to me, regardless of how I feel about it. It is in my nature. I cannot just be somebody that is biased towards something because I want that outcome. In the past, I have been that person to some degree, but that was when I was a kid. And even then, I still had a problem with it and recognized it in myself, even though other people didn't seem to recognize it in themselves. Part of this is and can be explained by ADHD and our lower tolerance to hypocrisy, by the way, which I find very fascinating and helped me understand why I felt the way I felt about politics all through my life. When I was holding Obama accountable, when I was holding Bush accountable, when I was holding Clinton accountable, when I was holding Biden accountable. I have always been critical of every single politician in my life. Whenever someone does something inconsistent, even if I'm disinterested, I still notice those hypocrisies. I've seen the corruption throughout our society in America, and I've looked at the history books. And even though those history books aren't always told fully accurately about the black representation, they still do divulge a lot about the psyche of the Americans all throughout their own history, outing themselves, but doing it so proudly. They did a lot of this stuff proudly to the point to where most people thought so lowly of themselves, they didn't realize how horrible it was for years. They were just happy to be acknowledged for the fact that they were part of history at some point, when they found out it was even part of history, because not all of it was always talked about, right? So I promise you, all throughout our history, the evidence is there that they have done this, not just to black people, not just to women, not just to other people, but to their own people as well. The whole entire situation with the Revolutionary War is kind of horrible, and America was founded on very underhanded tactics. I don't know how it's taught in Britain, but it's very proudly talked about how we utilize guerrilla warfare. The only reason that was successful because up to that point, everyone had an honor system that everybody else respected. They won by breaking the honor system. America is literally founded on breaking honor. Like, that is metaphorically very ironic, because it seems like our country has no honor. I'm going to be honest with you sometimes. I love our country. I am entitled to have an opinion as an American here in this country. And as you already know, I've talked about things like Memorandum SPNF 7, a memorandum talking about the being able to be labeled as a terrorist just for doing exactly what I'm doing right now, being very anti-fascist, right? I'm being against fascism, right? I haven't outright said that, which is what protects me. To some degree, how useless that may be. But also, if I'm critical of Christians as well, I can be labeled as a terrorist, bro. I can send you that document right now. It's on government, like whitehouse.gov. I've mentioned this before. Like, that is a threat. They are silencing us here in America, and it's been done in the past. They tested out syphilis on black people just to see how it is. They conned black people into thinking they were getting some sort of like not injection of syphilis, and then just didn't tell them about it and left them uncured and experimented or paid attention to what that happened. And they weren't just in isolation, my guy. So I feel like this is in the 70s or whatever, 70s or 60s, this is happening. Like, there's things like this all throughout history. That's horrible no matter what context you give it. That is horrible. So this kind of stuff hasn't been happening just now, but the degree that they're at now and the backtracking we've done in America, we've backtracked a lot. And honestly, like it has to be MAGA, and it has to be the voters that support him still, because they are threatening other people while getting away with pretending to be the victims every time anybody else criticizes them. They get to call everybody else violent when they're the ones that are acting the most violent and threatening and have been enacting on that violence later than anybody else, but completely ignore and downplay that whole situation. It's horrible. Our freedom of speech isn't being protected in America, though. That's the thing. When people at the highest level of like late night are getting canceled because they're criticizing Trump for making a normal joke just about somebody that's our president, that's part of freedom of speech. But when you start talking to the FCC commissioner, the chair commissioner for who controls the networks, and you have that person scare networks into getting into line, that isn't suppression of our speech at like a media level, while also being able to label people terrorists that are critical of Christians or critical of people who are fascist, right? The way that they word it on our document, it isn't just Antifa. I don't know how much you understand about this, but Antifa, whether it is or is not an actual group, it's more of a shorthand for just being anti-fascist. So there are people who can be put into that group, whether or not they associate with the actual movement group of Antifa. That is how it's legally able to be utilized more ambiguously. That's suppression of the freedom of speech. We're not supposed to live in a country where any religion has protection that is special to them. But we now live in a country where Christianity specifically gets a certain tier above every other religion and lack thereof. So everyone other than Christians in this country, whether they realize it or not, because this is a memorandum, this isn't necessarily a bill or a document yet, but this is on the whitehouse.gov website. This is something they're endorsing that they do, right? That is suppression of speech. That has to be the priority. That's Europe, though. We were guaranteed a certain freedom here in America. You guys don't have that same freedom. That doesn't give you guys the right to laugh or be understanding of the freedoms that we have here in America. We're supposed to respect your laws. I don't think we always really do, which is unfortunate, but that doesn't give you guys the right to look the other way because our country doesn't have integrity and it doesn't bother you. It bothers me that we have an expectation here in America that we are supposed to be allotted to us, but it's not consistent. And not only that, some people are getting that punishment, some people are not getting that punishment. It's not consistent with who that is being done towards. So like, that's the other issue, is more often than not, the things that we're not allowed to do, they're still allowed to do. They're still allowed to make fun of Muslims and atheists and everything else, but we can't criticize them. That doesn't seem right. It does not seem fair or equal. Again, your country is different than ours, but that's the expectation here in America. That's what it says legally binding. That's what it says. Is less looking the other way and more our own house is on fire. But I can live in a world where I acknowledge the fires in your house while still acknowledging the fires in my house and not making this a situation where I'm looking the other way or anything like that. Boshi, if I heard that your house was on fire and terrible things are happening and this is true and not just a biased story, but this is actually factually true, then I'm going to be sympathetic to it regardless of somebody's political leaning. If it's an unfair situation in general, it's an unfair situation and needs to be acknowledged. But I don't know why other people use that kind of thing as an excuse to justify looking the other way. If shit is happening and it's not supposed to be happening in that country, it's an injustice. Sometimes if things are just outright inhumane as we understand it as general society, it's an injustice. I don't know why this is so hard for some people to understand and be fair about. And I now understand that for me, that is an area that I just do not understand because my brain does not work that way, right? So while I do still believe fully that the way that I see things is fair, though, I don't think anybody can argue that I am being morally inconsistent. When you say things like that, I believe you're morally inconsistent. I mean, it's an opinion perhaps, but I can back it up by my consistency about what I say and what I do, versus other people when they acknowledge points are reality versus downplaying them until they have to acknowledge them. And then when they acknowledge them, they downplay it, right? Until they have to be pointed out that you're the person being inconsistent and it is a bad situation, right? It's just like, I try to be, I'm intentionally consistent, god damn it. Like, I'm going to convince you that you're either going to provide evidence when I'm wrong, or I'm going to eventually convince you that the certain points that I'm making are fair and relevant and valid points that explain the inconsistencies in people's moralities. Like, almost everything that I'm focused on is fully moral based. I might use a lot of logic to argue my points, but none of these points are fully rational topics. They're emotional topics more often than not, but they're topics that need to be acknowledged while also being backed by the expectations that are promised to us in our actual constitution. All I'm doing is being a legal rules lawyer about consistency while also having a consistent ethical system that is fair to people despite how I might feel about them or have bias towards or against them. I promise you I am very, very consistent in this topic, and this is why I know that Trump and his administration and his movement are incredibly fucking dangerous to our world. Not just America, bro. They are gonna fuck up other shit too. They already are fucking up other shit, like things like gas prices and other expenses on other countries. The terrorists do affect other countries when he was charging super high tariffs out of nowhere without anybody's communication whatsoever. So he is not just a issue for our country, god damn it. He's an issue for the whole entire fucking world. He has continued to instigate the Ukraine and Russia situation. He has continued to instigate the Israel and everybody situation. Like, everybody has an issue with Israel. I don't know if you were aware of that, but many countries do. While not everybody in that country will care about it, or will it even be talked about, not gonna lie, but there are people still communicating from those countries that they recognize that those are issues. That's just the nature of being online nowadays, but a lot of people are acknowledging the issues. You can look at purely just what Donald Trump says without any biased media whatsoever and clearly see that he is a terrible human being, and he trickles, like, shit rolls downhill, bro. Everybody else is allowed to do terrible things and do the worst and be the least consistent people legally, not just ethically, but legally. And not just that, actually lying about facts and disregarding information altogether. This is, in smaller doses, this has been a regular behavior in America, but not to this degree. Never to this degree has this kind of stuff been allowed. This kind of conduct, this kind of ethic has not been allowed in our country to this degree. There's been some decorum in the past. I have a lot of criticisms throughout history that I can point towards, and I can also get over all of them totally if they weren't still lingering in their effects in this country. I would leave them alone if they weren't still relevant, but they are relevant, and they are proven on my live streams when people just, the act of disregarding the points that I'm making is the exposure to what I am trying to show people. It is not just my points. It is the fact that even when I lay down logical arguments that make sense and deserve to be acknowledged and refuted, my points don't get refuted because they don't have a refute for my point. They just want to talk about their own talking points. But then when I hear their talking points, I take their talking points and use them against them because they are not consistent talking points with everything else they have said and said they believed up until this point. That is literally all I am doing all day, every day. And if you look at what I'm saying, you know goddamn well that I've been consistent and not wrong about these things. I think the only area is where the information might be coming from, but a lot of times the points that I'm making, they have to be acknowledged while also watching all of my guests never acknowledge any of these points. When I talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma, these guys don't know anything about it, and they don't want to get anywhere near the ethics of the conversation. They don't want to do any of these things, while I am also fully willing to grant the fucking conservative point of view. I will totally disregard any liberal ideology to make my point still be consistent. Is that not impressive? That I can totally burn down every point of view from a liberal while still being consistent about my point and still being grounded in reality and facts. Does that not tell you something about what I'm saying? Not just me, but like the points that I'm making. I don't care about what you think about me. The points that I'm making, if you separate me and any bias either way towards you about me, if you just take what I've said, you know it to be true. Like, you know what I'm saying is consistent, and I still grant many of their points because I don't care, because they're not relevant to the reality of the situation. They can bring up those points because they sound nice, but they don't usually acknowledge anything that I say. I don't get any sort of intellectual stimulation from a lot of these people because they're not making any points. They're just trying to avoid mine while making theirs. That's not how an actual intellectual debate is supposed to be had. That exposure is just part of the conversation that I'm trying to show everybody that's watching. I'm not debating these people for the sake for them or for myself. I'm debating just to show how inconsistent these people are willing to be just to be right. They don't care about being moral. They care about winning the argument and looking correct. That's why you have people coming in here celebrating how I might look a certain way, or like trying to just insult me or degrade me, right? I've been consistent and meeting people where they are. That's why I trolled those kids, because I'm not bothered by it. I'm just really baffled by the behavior and like maybe slightly annoyed by wasting my time. But it's like I'm more confused by what world you live in, where you think waiting 20 minutes to sing Charlie Kirk to me is somehow a win for them. I made them wait in line. A black guy online made some white girl wait in line for 20 to 30 minutes for them to sing I Am Charlie Kirk to me. I am honored by that. I am just also very baffled by that. I don't get it. How are you not embarrassed by this kind of behavior? Like, that's also very fascinating for me. Maybe I put too much focus into social interactions in that aspect, but my head's just like, why would you want to do that? Like, what would possess somebody? Like, how hinged are you if you are willing to wait 20 to 30 minutes to sing I Am Charlie Kirk to some random guy online that you've never met? Like, that's unhinged behavior to me. Like, maybe that's normal behavior for other people, but fuck, I'll be weird every day of the week if that means I don't wait in line for 30 minutes just to sing a meme song to somebody about somebody that's irrelevant now. But what? Why? Like, it's fascinating. Like, I want to talk about it. So it's not like I feel more fascinated and appreciative than anything else. But like, what did they think they were doing to me? Or like, what did they get out of it? Like, that's fascinating to me, right? But that's them. That's not the liberal people doing that. I think they do. I've seen some of them online ranting and raving and going crazy too. So it's not like it's exclusive to just like MAGA or anything. But it's just the sheer numbers and the sheer influence of MAGA, because it's not just everyday people, it's the news outlets. Like, Fox News is sort of the villain. Fox, like both on the left and the right at this point, but they're still just inconsistent with their news in times, or what they really push towards the masses, or what gets spread by other people. It might not be the actual news and it's more commentary, but those are the things that other people who aren't super conservatives see in the clips that people they follow are reacting to. And so it just, like, they're intentionally stoking a fire for no reason other than just to get more clicks or to support an agenda. It's either more money or supporting agenda, or both, but it's not anything ethical or moral at all. But then they're the best of the worst, because you got OAN and other stations to saying whatever they want, because they just have carte blanche to say and do whatever they want, regardless of if it's true or not, because they're backed by the president. And the president likes it and endorses it and shares it out. So he gives them more authority, even though they're smaller. If they acknowledge what Trump says, they all of a sudden become bigger stations. OAN was nobody until Trump started like sharing that information back out, because they were lovers of Trump, right? So anyway, the double troll debate was amusing as well. But this is all, these aren't liberals doing this. Liberals aren't mad at me in that regard to do that. Who do you think that is? Right? You've seen it old and young. There's old people. That's the weirder group for me, like the 18-year-olds and 18, 19, early 20s. Those are like, I get it. It's annoying. It's disappointing, but I don't necessarily go as hard on them, because I don't need to. It's just like, I kick them off, because I know where this is going. I know they're not here to listen. You can tell when someone's already checked out and they're just doing it for the memes. And I gave those two kids multiple chances, right? Like, I matched their energy. I met them where they were. I was being silly. I was not being bothered by it. I wasn't offended by it. Was I confused? Was I getting annoyed? I was confused for sure. I don't know if I was getting annoyed, maybe a little bit, but the annoyance usually comes because, like, it's the question of why would you do that, which is kind of a meme in fighting game culture, but it's like, why would you do that? And usually in fighting games, it's because you won, but sometimes people ask it when they lose too. But it's like, I don't see it as losing and winning, but I know a lot of other people do. So I'm like, it's kind of like a masking thing. I'm aware they care about it. I don't really focus on the winning thing or the losing thing, because I just literally it's not an interest in my brain. The concept of winning has never been relevant for me for debating. The only win that I get is when I learn something new, or I've helped somebody else learn something new and they've acknowledged it. That's the only win that I get. That's literally how my brain just functions. That's just how I am. That's it. I don't have any goal of embarrassing people, but because I like embarrassing people who are immoral, that is the only thing that I get some sort of enjoyment out of, is that from my point of view, like my point of view is the most important one, to be honest with you. Like everybody's point of view in terms of policies changing and voting, that's important. But in terms of my mission, when somebody has proven that they're willing to be inconsistent, especially with ethics, I have no problem exposing or embarrassing those people and making them look stupid. They don't know they're looking stupid. I'm not always saying they're looking stupid, but anybody in the audience that's willing to have any sort of rationale is going to say they're stupid. Boshi, I think that's why you've stuck around to some degree, because you know that, like, I'm not talking bullshit, right? But these people, I don't know why they want to talk to me like that. Like, I don't get why they would want to just avoid what I'm saying. Pay really close attention to how they avoid my points, right? And then pay attention to how I acknowledge their points and use their points against them. I don't know if you've already noticed that. I mentioned it earlier, but I really got to emphasize this, because you'll see me take their analogies, and then what I'll do is I'll give the analogy more context that needs to be looked at, because they want to try to make a narrow vision of a story. But then I just give that story more dimension to understand that people aren't just some sort of one archetype that they can just take a scenario and not make multiple considerations that are fair to consider. They consider one avenue and act like it's the only avenue that can happen. And then I take that same avenue and then I take branches from the avenue they've created to create a more realistic scenario. I'm intentionally doing that because all I'm doing is giving more context to the situation. Despite how I care about it, I recognize that there are other possibilities that they're not acting like even exist, while I'm acknowledging their entire point and building on it to a point to where it's actually more realistic and nuanced, that needs to give the point more context that's usually relevant, right? I'm just saying. I know what you're saying, but it is a both sides issue. It is a both sides issue, but cherry bomb and nuke, Boshi. That's the thing. I prioritize, okay? And there's a reason why I do acknowledge, like, I concede certain points, because I don't concede certain points. I agree with certain points, right? I don't just defend the liberals. Have you seen me defending liberals? The liberals have no power in America right now. If liberals had any influence in America, Trump wouldn't be able to just override protocols day after day. I don't know if you understand the whole Epstein situation, for example, but everybody, the public, the general public, all knows and understands legally that the administration is legally obligated to release the Epstein files a long ass time ago, and they still have not released the full story. That is one example that has multiple crimes that are hiding crimes and investigations from being fully understood by everybody. Okay? That is a microcosm of everything that Trump has done. You can see almost every example of corruption that Trump has committed just within the Epstein files. Just, okay? Every many aspects of the situation. Because the Epstein investigation in itself exposes some of the other exploitations that Epstein was doing that are irrelevant from Donald Trump, but certain things that also Trump might have been aware of, right? So within the investigation itself, from what we know what is already mentioned, that he's mentioned in there several times, right? And it's not like this is cherry picked information to get Trump. It's just what the JODC, it's what the people that did the investigation during the Trump administration got, right? They have this information, it's their investigation, but they're not sharing it with everybody. And they've even messed up redactions and things of that nature. They've altered information, they've restrained information, they've hidden it, they've lied about it, they misled people about it all throughout the investigation. These are all things that Trump can, like, his behaviors exhibit and his administration have exhibited in many other areas of their practice, right? Education, the wars, the whole no wars thing. How the hell do you become the guy that creates the Department of War, but you're the anti-war president and you're saying no more wars, but he's created so many conflicts? That alone is a microcosm of many of the exhibits of the issues that he exhibits and his administration exhibit when he was trying to just do anything, He's created more conflict. He's made prices go up when it didn't have to go up. Like, he has caused many problems that I just don't want to like go off on right now, but that I could point to at length and then go into the studies that are actually there with more facts, because I kind of remember the general idea of things. I don't always have all the general facts memorized, but I try to keep a document with several facts nowadays so that I have references for things. Trying to build that database up for myself right now. But yeah, so Donald Trump has a lot of problems, and there's many microcosms of the ecosystem that makes up his corruption all throughout history, from before he was a president to before he was in politics at all. It's there, and it's consistent, man. The only thing consistent about Trump is that he's not consistent ethically at all, or in any area. He screws over people and he just never gives up. It's crazy. My understanding of that is, if nothing else, what's going on, I would completely agree. It is outrageous, but with Iran nonsense and everything else, the focus is elsewhere. Yeah, the focus is elsewhere. It has been a complete mess. I cannot disagree. The files are on my desk. There are no files. Yep, not consistent, buddy. Did he start wars or attempt to end potential future wars? Nothing I say is a justification or excuse, by the way, just my thoughts. Even if you acknowledge or grant that he was trying to stop, like the Iran situation, if you granted that, you also have to grant that Iran had no obligation to continue to follow a treaty they weren't in anymore. Because if you have a contract with a country and you're supposed to not build weapons, and that was the agreement, and there's no evidence of weapons being built, and then all of a sudden the person that told you not to build those weapons pulls out of the contract, are you still, as the other person, the other entity, obligated to follow that contract? Because America was the country that broke the contract by attacking Iran without any evidence or an investigation to prove that there were bombs and such. I don't remember all the legal interactions, but America was for sure the people who broke the agreement. And so, while I'm not a fan of any of the exchanges that have happened, and while I am pro-America, I have to be accountable. I have to be like consistent. Like I think America has accountability to be had, because I don't see why a country would be obligated to agree to something that they weren't obligated to agree to anymore, because the other person broke the agreement. I'm not sure how to react to that, but if the intel on Iran is accurate, we cannot afford to allow them to get nukes and become North Korea. But that's the thing, is that it won't present that evidence. That evidence has never been presented. So right now, as it stands, legally, that's like, in terms of like the world legally, why can't I think of the term right now? Not the World Health Organization. The fucking, like, the Legion of all the countries. I can't think. The UN, United Nations. The United Nations, they have their own internal laws that we're supposed to all adhere to. Us and Israel are not doing things legally. We are arguably committing crimes to do this, and we've still not been presented with the evidence. I feel like if I'm going to get dragged into a war, I deserve to know why I'm getting dragged into that war and not taking it on word. As an American, I don't want to start a conflict if I am not utmost certain, and our government has not been the most honest, our Democrats and our Republicans. So we should not trust this kind of situation on the words of a man who is known to be a liar. And you have seen on stream many of the people who call themselves Trump supporters acknowledge that he lies. This is a guy known for lying a lot, even by his own people. There's even an issue understanding when he's being serious and when he's not by many people outside of his own movement. And even within his own movement, people can't tell or argue how to defend Trump because they don't know if he's being serious or not, and whether or not to be like satirical about it and play it off as a joke, or to be honest about it. the people that follow Trump aren't all consistent on how they portray Trump because they don't know how to portray what he's saying because they don't know if it's a joke or not. Like, we have not been given that evidence as Americans. And when Trump is asked about it, he gets irate about it, or he moves on to a different subject, or he insults the interviewer. He will not touch this topic on camera. And while I can understand the argument of strategy, and while I'm not a fan of talking about like war strategies or like war intel, if you're going to put us in a nuclear war, potentially a potential nuclear war with a country that might potentially have nukes, we should not be going on fucking hearsay, bro. We should not be assuming that these countries can make nukes and then never presenting that evidence, and then justify the war by looking for the evidence, and then not being given the evidence, but being told that you have the evidence. We're being told we have the evidence, but it's not being given to us. I think that's unfair. I think that's not correct. I think that gives us no ability as Americans to hold our leadership accountable when that's part of our job as our actual citizens, is to hold our leadership accountable. But we can't hold our leadership accountable if we're not given all the information. We deserve that. I'm sorry, bro. I understand the president has a role, but if you're going to put me in a potential nuclear war, it is only fair that the American people know exactly what the fuck's going on, at least more than what we've been told, at least somewhat what we've been told. Because if they're already getting attacked by America, there's no point in holding that information anymore, because they know, Iran knows that we know. If this is true, Iran now knows. There's literally no more reason to hide this information from the American people, yet they still fucking do. We deserve to know why we're in that war by being given all of the evidence. There's literally no strategic reason to withhold this information anymore. If they know exactly where it's at and don't want to give that information away, they can withhold that information. They can give us some sort of information about what has happened. I think that is more than fair. I think that is more than reasonable. I don't think I'm being unhinged. I don't think I'm being inconsistent with everything that I've said and everything you know about me so far. Did you want to wait for evidence? Ideally, how would they know there were nukes if there wasn't evidence? And again, if there's evidence, it's no longer a strategic advantage when we're already in the war. We're this deep in the war and we still don't know. What tactical advantage do they have? And how do they not know by now? Like, are they just gonna keep bombing schools and shit until they find it? I'm not okay with us killing innocent civilians to get to this. Like, there has to be a better way than this. If we're that strong, then we should be able to put more pressure on them to the point where we nip this in the bud. If there's nukes, then we need to find that. But why did we not talk to the UN? Why doesn't the UN know? Like, even if we don't know, don't you think the UN deserves to know too? Right? What other countries are giving intel on this situation? Do you know any countries that have given intel from their leadership about this war? Because the UN is supposed to know about this kind of stuff, because again, there are rules and regulations and conventions to this kind of stuff. So don't you think they deserve to know? Even if I grant, again, me being morally consistent and considering things outside of my own worldview, take myself out of the equation, I think the leaders of the free world deserve to know why America, one of the biggest superpowers, one of the biggest nuclear superpowers in the world, is attacking a country making these accusations. I think that is still very fair. Even if you take me out of it, take the American people out of it completely, right? All the citizens out of it, whatever. Other leaders of other countries at the same status as Donald Trump deserve to know so that they can back and be ready to defend against nukes. If there's a literal concern for nuclear attacks from Iran in the upcoming future, other countries deserve to know so that they can properly prepare and they would have our backs. But for some reason, the other countries seem as baffled as I am and as frustrated as I am about how this whole war is being handled. Don't you think that's bad communication? Don't you think that's incompetent behavior? Don't you think that's a little bit scary? Don't you think that might come off as abusing your power just to get what you want? Don't you think that it's also concerning that this communication wasn't had while jacking up the price of gasoline for the American people and possibly people overseas? Also, it's pretty consistent with the fact that Donald Trump was putting tariffs on literally everybody all the time, and how he likes to punish people who don't like him. Like, even if you call it retribution for Donald Trump tariffing everybody, which nobody has ever said that, I'm granting that out of nowhere because I'm willing to be able to consider considerations that are counterpoints to it. It's still not morally viable to not communicate with the leaders of the free country about a nuclear threat that's impending on anybody at any point in time. Even if I grant everything, Iran were the people that were done dirty in this specific situation. That doesn't grant them from any of the other issues that seem to come out of their country. I'm going to be honest, up until this conflict, I don't know much about that country, but I understand points that are relevant to this situation. The other points are not relevant. Their history is not relevant in my argument whatsoever, because I'm being morally consistent with the entirety of the country, not just their leadership. Because it's not just military that's getting killed, it's innocent civilians. When innocent civilians are being killed and nothing is being explained, and you're making accusations you have not provided evidence for to anybody at all that doesn't do what you say, that's a problem and an immediate threat, especially when the country that's doing it also owns fucking nuclear bombs for sure. And I can't even speak on what I know for safety reasons. So I promise you, bro, priorities. I am prioritizing Trump and MAGA again for a goddamn reason. There's a reason why I'm sitting here. Oh shit, my clock, the power went out in our house earlier, so the clock's not working. But there's a reason why I'm sitting here this late talking to you right now about this, and why I'm talking so passionately about this topic. Priorities. Donald Trump has the keys to a nuclear bomb and is having good justification optically for him to be able to utilize those. Okay. And if we're going to do that kind of thing, we should for sure know that the country we're accusing of doing that thing did that thing. Okay. I think you deserve to know. I think your country deserves to know for sure if America is getting us and instigating a nuclear superpower that we didn't know was a nuclear superpower. Do you think it is smart to just kick the bear, bro? And if he's still attacking them, then he still has not found those nukes potentially, right? Like, that's the only justification. If the nukes have been dismantled, then why are we still doing this? Why don't we control the Strait of Hormuz? What threat do they have over us, right? If it is true that they do have those said things, do you think this is the smartest move to do? Right? Like, if you were involved in a conversation, would you go this route? I would not do that. That's not smart, because if they have nukes and we're still attacking them and we haven't found them, what might that mean, bro? And the one country that's been doing it the whole time is which country again? Israel and America. Which of those two countries do you think is a bigger threat? Realistically. I'm not trying to talk down on Israel and their military. But while they're heavily involved in this situation and deserve accountability too, I don't live in that country. And they're not the military superpower compared to America. Look, I don't hate guns, bro. I don't like them pointed at me, ever. But I don't like senseless killing either, or instigating fights, ever. Listen, this specific area is a very traumatizing topic for me, to the point to where I am very specifically morally consistent in this. Because while I love my family, and I'm not trying to make a bad story out of them right now, I have overcome all of this issue, so just understand that. But when I was younger, there was a rule in my house. My parents said that I damn well better not ever start a fight. No, I better not start a fight, but I damn well better finish it. And if I don't, then there will be another one somewhere where I might live. if you catch my drift. So my father being, you know, a 6 foot, like 2, close to 300-pound guy, I would rather get in a fight or win a fight against a kid my age than my dad, like in the first to like whatever grade, right? So I always had a constant fear. I never started a fight ever in my life because I was afraid of more repercussions at home. But I also never lost a fight whenever anyone picked on me because of that same motivation. But I tried my best to only do what I needed to get them off of me because I didn't want to fight or hurt anybody. So when I talk about instigating fights, this is a topic that I'm very sensitive to the point to where I've paid attention to this kind of topic for my whole entire life. And I promise you, bro, even if you take out the empathy from my whole entire argument, you logically know that this is not a strategic advantage to do what America is doing. It is strategically disadvantageous to put this giant target on America's back while also not being honest about it. It's not a good look optically for most people who are rational. It's a nuclear fucking, like, nukes, my bro. Is that not enough of an irredeemable quality? Isn't that just alone a disqualifying like factor? Like, isn't that just alone enough for you to understand that this is a horrible human being that is putting everybody in danger? Like, what if it is Israel? Would they be able to retaliate? They're a lot smaller. If it is them, it's worse for them. And while I can still totally criticize what their government has done, I still don't wish that on them. Do you see how I am morally consistent regardless of who I'm talking about? Like, I can totally acknowledge how horrible Israel's government has been towards many countries now and still not wish a nuclear bomb drop on their country. Why is that so hard for people to understand? And why is it so hard to be that consistent as a fucking society at this point in America, like, or in the world? Like, what don't you see, Boshi? Like, that's a horrible situation to be in. And the thing is that nuclear bombs they can impact more than one country depending on where they fall, my guy. Like, anybody is a threat until this situation is resolved. Not just because of America, but because of who they're poking. Like, we don't know anything, bro. Like, we know that they're not, we only know that they don't tell us the truth. And we have to only take what they give us. And then when they're angry, when we ask reasonable questions, they don't tell us. That is irredeemable in my opinion. There is no forgiveness for that kind of thing, to put the world in danger and not communicate anything with anybody. I don't know what sense of urgency creates a war that lasts this long and there's still not been one dropped. But the fact that we are in this situation at all is a testament to how incompetent our leadership is. It's not strategically advantageous to do this. If you think about this for more than a couple of seconds, you'd realize that's true. And you'd also question what information have they had that led to this, and what have they found out since then, and why haven't they shared any of that with anybody? And what benefit do they have by creating themselves to be the villain for the world stage? And why be so irrational about a very rational concern, right? Do you think it's justifiable to get so irate when people ask you for details on a potential nuclear threat? Do you think that is a rational pattern of behavior that a very moral, very good, non-dictatorial human being would conduct themselves in? Like, it is an irredeemable quality in a human being. That alone is irredeemable. But there's so many other topics that we can touch on, and some of them get so muddy but so consistent with the pattern of behavior of Trump and what people say about him and what he talks about and brags about, that they can't not be true to some degree, right? Like, why is he splattered all over those files, my guy? Like, why is there so many accusations of him having bad practices? Why does he have so many bankruptcies in his business? Why are his kids also following a trend of being like morally unethical with a lot of decisions they make business wise, and working with these big companies and these bad people that get outed as horrible pedophiles, like Nate Diaz or whatever his name is, Nate, the fucking top G guy, the fucking, not Nathan Philly. What is that guy's name? I don't know his name. Brandon Natum. I don't know. something like that, some dumbass motherfucker. Like there's so many patterns of behavior that are consistent within their bloodline at this point. His dad was a dickhead, his son is a dickhead. Like, come on, you can look at it from any angle and see all the warning signs of a fucking terrible narcissist who's acting. Yeah, Andrew Tate, thank you. Brother, man, it's all over the place. There is no strategic advantage value left unless America invaded Iran now. I'm saying, where is the sense of urgency? I don't understand how you can be like, hurry up, we gotta do this because it's urgent, but we're like still in the war and now it's affecting gas prices. We demolished them, but somehow they're still controlling the Strait of Hormuz. They're done, but they still control the Strait of Hormuz. We've agreed to some kind of a situation. Oh no, war spoke back up again for some reason. They control the Strait of Hormuz. We control the Strait of Hormuz. We control it. Like back and forth on Twitter. Why are they both arguing? Why is Iran and fucking America Twitter beefing on the internet? What the fuck is this high school dumb shit? Like, I don't say Iran are the good guys either, but if they got a nuclear bomb, let's figure this shit out now. I don't understand why you're affecting our gas prices. Like, like, you're inconsistent. If I'm super gung-ho, like if I'm being a super conservative, get what needs to get done and get the heck out. What do we, like, even if I'm pro this war, strategically speaking, what's going on? This don't make no sense. There's a threat of a certain thing. There's actions taken. The threat is still there. No further information given. The threat is still there. We've said that the threat isn't there anymore. The threat is still there. The threat is still there, justifying why we can keep attacking them. Irredeemable, my guy. Irredeemable. Irredeemable. I can't say that word enough times. And anybody that supports that is dangerous. That's why I say MAGA is dangerous, because they're fucking enabling this shit. They're his enablers. They're the yes men around him. He's created a group of yes men as a network around the world. Like other politicians. It's not just America. There's enough people. I would like, it's not like they're being paid to do this. It's just kind of a conditioning. I think you might fall into that category, or just really good at baiting me into saying a lot of things. I don't know. Like maybe you're a good bait farmer and you're like posting clips of me somewhere online. I don't fucking know what your deal is, but like, it's not that he messed up Iran. It's that his actions and his behavior is irredeemable. Like that's the thing that I know that you don't want to acknowledge, but you gotta acknowledge that. And then by logic dictates that anybody that recognized this and or didn't recognize this are further irredeemable for enabling somebody like this and supporting this kind of thing. Like that is the inevitable conclusion that I have been getting to every time I stream, that most people won't ever get to, right? That is the inevitable conclusion about MAGA that I'm making, that their pattern of behavior has reached a level of irredeemability, not just to liberals, but to the general man. And it's only if you look at the full picture and acknowledge all the points, even take into consideration liberals and Democrats and all of them, it's still beyond what they've done in our time now. Like the people who want to argue that the Democrats were the original KKK. Okay, yeah, so what? Yeah, you're like, let's acknowledge that. You're right. The Democrats were that. Now, follow that timeline. What the hell happened? Because it's not Democrats that are the ones that are likely to wave the rebel flag. They're more likely to wave the gay flag or the pride flag, right? The liberals are the ones waving the pride flags, but the conservatives are the ones waving this. This is how people make irrelevant information relevant, and sometimes vice versa. They try to make irrelevant information relevant. That's not relevant that the Democrats used to be the KKK. Our reality that we live in right now is that if you were to find a person waving a Dixie flag or the Confederate flag, battle flag, they're conservative. They're conservative now. So you'll notice that sometimes people want to bring in irrelevant information and accuse me of being that person that's bringing up irrelevant information, even though they know damn well it's entirely relevant to the point. They just don't want to talk about it. Whereas I can argue why their point is irrelevant. We don't need to know anything about the Democrats of the past being the KKK. It is a relevant point, maybe in a broader thing of systemic racism, but it doesn't affect the now. Yet they also accuse us of being the people who are stuck in the past, only because we're trying to learn and not make the same mistakes. And when we're doing that, they often accuse us of being those people, like the term woke, right? It's just that people are recognizing a injustice, calling it out, but because everybody's conditioned to this kind of society, they feel uncomfortable giving people liberty. right? That's the same thing with the trans argument. It is not the trans people that are infringing on people's rights. It is everyone else's discomfort about them that is infringing on their rights, because we're so prude and we're so comfortable living a certain kind of way that we're willing to break our constitutional agreements in America in order to just rectify our discomfort. It's not ethically, or it's unethically fair because it's not constitutionally consistent. We have an expectation that is allotted to us in America, and I'm just being a rules lawyer about the fairness of it all. You know it to be true. I do understand, however, it is very complex. Remember, I am a neutral observer. No, I'm a neutral observer too. God damn it. And as a neutral observer, I still come to the conclusion that there's a problem. But see, I have self-preservation as well. So I am incentivized to not let this come to fruition as it is now. My personal philosophy is that if I'm complaining about something more than a few times, then I need to do something about it. By that philosophy, I'm bound to do something about it. This is the bare minimum for now, until I can get more done. Because I feel this strongly about it and I see the error. It is there. I challenge you to tell me where I am being inconsistent and or where I'm factually wrong, right? Pretty much all the points that I make, I can find fairly neutral evidence for my arguments, but I try to keep it general to well-known topics because it makes it easier to not have to fact check everything because it's more well-known. And it's not that you can't challenge me because of my unwillingness to listen, because I'm willing to listen to any argument and totally acknowledge it and acknowledge the points that are relevant and push back on the points that are wrong. So I just want to clarify that, because I'm not saying you're making that wordplay, but I've seen that kind of wordplay before. So I'm calling it out for anybody who might perceive it that way. Sorry. Again, I can't help it. I think some of this is ADHD. Like, I can't turn it off. This is a very fascinating thing, and then I got to go after this. But this is a very fascinating point that I want to explore, because it seems like it's an unknown territory right now. So we don't know why people with ADHD, as far as I understand, have a low tolerance to hypocrisy. But what I haven't seen in these studies yet is that we have a higher success rate of recognizing hypocrisy. I theorize that the reason that our tolerance is so low to hypocrisy is because we have a higher success rate of recognizing hypocrisies. It is not proven that we recognize hypocrisies at a higher rate, as far as I know. But I talked to a psychologist about this, and I think he's curious too. And he acknowledged that, I mean, like, he can't say it's true because no one knows, but it is a fair point that can be explored. So I'm telling you, man, like, this topic is fascinating to me. The brain, I got that shit. Like, now let's not get arrogant. ADHD specifically too. Like, I'm not a practitioner. I'm not an expert. Like, well, I don't got a degree. Like, that's the thing. Because like, there's an argument that could be had that I'm an expert because of how much I know about it and I have lived with it and studied it on myself and other people. But I don't have any sort of degree or qualification or anything like that. That's the clarification there. Sorry. Again, integrity. I can't help it. I can't help it. I can't turn it off. I can't turn it off. Thank you. I will be live this Wednesday. That'll be my last stream of the week. So you can tune in on that day. I feel like it's like people who have Tourette's. Like, it's like my tick. I literally can't turn it off. But anyways, yeah, the theory, I want to see that theory to fruition. I think it's a very fascinating theory because I know that I recognize hypocrisy really easily. I've been doing this shit since I was a kid. My mom hated debating with me or arguing with me, really, because she, like, oh man, I'm telling you, I'm such a weird person because, like, if I were unethical, I'm sure I could be very successful with just like being a grifter of some kind because of how good I am at doing this. But I am blessed and or cursed with this desire to always be fair about shit, which coincides with like the whole recognizing hypocrisy thing. It was a very fascinating aspect of ADHD that caught my attention when I heard it in the audiobook, and kept hearing about it more and more because it's like a newer study and people are like excited about this, you know. So it's like in the newer sciences or new studies or documentation on it. People talked about it. and so I'm like, I can't tell you how bad I already knew that I hated hypocrisy before I read it in a book. I just didn't know it could be explained by ADHD. It sort of bothered my ego a little bit that it wasn't like just a unique me thing. It was like very explainable by ADHD. Not gonna lie, a little salty, but I had to hold that L, right? Or W, whatever. Because now I know for sure, like, it's not my imagination. This book is confirming that I do this thing. Like, I do have a low tolerance for hypocrisy, and my action for hypocrisy is calling it out and then making it be consistent logically. That's what I do. So, like, I turned that issue into a situation where I had the ability, which is part of the reason why I left my job, was to start practicing this skill and expressing this skill and building a following, right? Because I'm like, yo, I am good at this. It's backed by science, right? Like, it's kind of a dumb logic, but like it makes sense if you think about it. It's very anime, believe it, but it's scientific and kind of cool. So I'm like, okay, bet. What's my thing, right? Like, you know how a lot of times in people in autism, there's a stereotype that they have a thing. It's not false, but it's not like that generic. But ADHD people, I theorize, do also have that kind of thing. I don't think this is like backed by any study or anything yet. So that's why I say it the way that I'm saying it. But I've recognized this pattern in myself and many other people with ADHD. The thing is that people with ADHD tend to be Renaissance men or women, Renaissance people. Real-time example of me being like less PC and then correcting myself and not giving a fuck about correcting myself because it's not that big of a deal. Digression. Anyway, what the fuck is the point? Sorry. I think that you get my humor at this point and why that's funny to me. Damn it. But that rant made me forget what I was saying. I lost it. I deserve that. I gotta hold that L. But I think I made enough points. You see my fascination. It's cool stuff. I love this topic. Right. And I think that getting a test is always encouraged. But learning about the good sides of it and understanding also kind of how that helps me with my political and other interests. Like, bro, I'm so weird. Like, my buddy and I are starting to like sell 3D printed stuff that are like actually practical and helpful for people who are like build it yourselfers. Like, this is a wall mount for my battery that we 3D printed. This doesn't like exist, or like people can just print this file, or I can like sell it to people, right? We built a whole ass transforming controller that works on fighting games, and we have the skills and knowledge to be able to just 3D print and create a controller to sell now for other people. That's also ergonomic for people with like wrist, neck, back injuries, neck injuries and such. What the fuck? I also know how to do like a live broadcast for esports events, organize a tournament, help do the marketing for the tournament, create the tournament structure format, create like sponsorships and do the HR and payroll and all this other shit as well for esports organizations, while writing educational and fun programs for students to be a part of and help them get better at fighting games, to inevitably get them enrolled at that college while also selling the college and like running a multi-million-dollar arena. Like, I got a weird assortment of skills. I used to be an animator, a game developer as well. I never was the best at that, and I ended up hating working in that industry at the time, but it was still fun, right? Like, a lot of stuff, a lot more stuff. I've had a lot of weird journeys. Weird guy. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I know what's right with me. And I celebrate those things and lean into them. So with that though, I think it's a good time to call it good night, sir. Everybody, appreciate y'all hanging out with me. This has been fun as always. Y'all have been real. Y'all have been fun. And y'all have been real fun. I will see y'all Wednesday for my last stream of the week. Until next week. Wednesday at 6:30 for Baldur's Gate. Hopefully, if everybody's there. Otherwise, we'll probably play some Unepic or something like that. So you guys have a great night. Bye-bye.